welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Podcast Extravaganza Sunday afternoon edition. Hope you're all doing well out there. Thanks for tuning in. This is Mr. BDA, and along with me, my co-host, King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sensational. Well, let's get this out of the way. If you want to join us, go to Google Hangouts and send us an instant message via the email address that's on the top of your screen, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. That's boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Hope to hear from you. And we got quite a lot to talk about. You know, the fights didn't really go all that long last night, or last evening, I should say. But we did have some good stoppages, a little bit of something for everybody. And we got some, things to analyze, and also analyze the future of each division in which those big fights took place. First of all, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to Boxing Baderberg, Mr. Coxey, Luke Peterson, Lazar Otasevich, Cameron Gillon, Shepherd of Sons, Louis Blanc, Del Boys Boxing News, and many more to come, I am sure. Luke Peterson says X is recognized. I thought that too in the beginning, but then I sort of got... Anyway, we'll get into that later on, but I don't think they're the same person. Luke Peterson says, I'm on to your ex, son. Shout out to Jay Perez, who says, hi, everybody. Del Boy says, Cinco de Bellew weekend. Yeah, I really think he turned out to be the big winner. Because Golovkin was supposed to win, and Tony Bellew was supposed to win too, I guess. But there was that if. What if David Haye comes in shape? What if David Haye comes in motivated? What if he lands a big punch? So let's talk about that a little bit. Bucho, Triple G earned himself a second round knockout over the tough Bellew-Martirosyan. I haven't read any criticism. I mean, I haven't sought to read any criticism because I don't really need to. I know what people are going to say. But based on what happened last night, what do you think of Gennady Golovkin? Did it show you anything you didn't expect, or?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us in our prediction said that either Martirosyan surprises us and takes the fight to 12 rounds, or that he gets stopped, but in the 8th round, 6th round. But man, he got him out of there. Golovkin got him out of there in 2 rounds. So I don't know. It felt like that old Golovkin. You know what I mean? When he was knocking everybody out, the pre-Jacobs.
Oh yeah.
It felt like one of that type of Golovkin, man. He was great, man.
Very good point, man. It reminded people, because we all got it relatively wrong. We thought Vanes was going to go a couple of rounds. He didn't even make it past the second. I mean, like you're saying, it reminded us of the old Golovkin and what he can do against... that's why you got to give guys like Canelo and, yes, Daniel Jacobs credit. I know Daniel Jacobs was bigger, but you saw Bellew-Martirosyan. He was kind of big himself in there. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, he was. And give credit to Vanes, man, because this guy came to fight. He wasn't there to run away. So some people were speculating that he was going to move in this fight. Move around, jab, and something, use his range. But fuck it, man. This guy just came in there. He wanted to hurt Golovkin, but didn't turn out the way he wanted.
It's interesting. I've yet to see anybody handle Golovkin's pressure. I mean, I know Jacobs and Canelo went 12 rounds, but Jacobs was on the back foot and he was a bigger guy. Canelo got extremely tight. I've never seen anybody pressure him the way Golovkin did. I mean, I know Golovkin was backing up at some points himself, but most of the time, everybody that comes forward against Canelo either goes on the back foot after they taste his power, or they get knocked out, like Angulo and Kirkland. They don't give a fuck and they keep going. They end up getting out. Golovkin, on the other hand, he made it past that power and he tired Canelo out. So that really, like, people get caught up on the power of Golovkin, but it's really the pressure, the footwork, the control of distance, and the way he just corners you, the way he cuts off the ring. That's, I would say, other than the power, that's his most dangerous weapon. Like, they work in conjunction, essentially. Like, you can't have one without the other, really. And by the way, did you see that right uppercut that started it all? Bucho?
Oh shit! Sorry, I was talking. I was on mute. Sorry. Yeah, great uppercut, man. That's what started the whole thing.
Very stiff uppercut. I really, and I, we were talking with Pavel last night about that. He was talking about power and the kinetics of it, and you could see that punch was extreme. That arm was in an L shape. It was tight and it wasn't gonna budge. Even when it landed, you could see it was still the arm was still in the same position as it was when he threw it. There was no bending, there was no shifting, anything. It was
Yeah, that's like how you throw a punch, you know.
that's yeah, stiff fucking power, man. It's really amazing that Golovkin, the way he looks. That's why when people say, "Well, Golovkin's not pound for pound," but skills. You okay? Let's even say that his resume isn't good. Let's say that for argument's sake, the way he takes these guys out. I mean, Lara couldn't do it. Charlo couldn't do it. I know
Yep.
they're gonna come out with the excuse. Oh, he took it on what, a month's
How
notice.
small did Golovkin look in that? I mean, or how big should I say? How big did he look compared to Vanes?
Not.
I
I
mean,
thought. Yeah.
and like I mentioned in a previous episode, Vanes weighed more than Golovkin in the 30-day weigh-in.
hmm
He weighed more in the 7-day weigh-in. So this guy's not. He's not a small guy. Okay.
I know.
So it's not like Golovkin fought a midget in the ring. Come on, let's get out of here with this shit.
Yeah, and by the way, Akuma's Deception in the chat says Triple G has the best jab in the world, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the best. It has to be top three, definitely. And the way he closed the distance with that jab and set himself up or set Vanis for that right overhand right. And Butcher, you talked about that how Martirosyan, he kind of had a lot of openings there.
Yeah, he's always fought like that, but he's never fought a guy like Golovkin who is going to actually make you pay for those type of mistakes. I think
Yeah.
it's way harder than fucking any Charlo.
Yeah, because what's this say? Vanis has pretty good counterpunching, and he caught Golovkin a little bit in the first round, and you could see Golovkin doing that old Golovkin trick, which is like he shakes his head when he gets hit to try to tell the guy, "No, you didn't hurt me." But he did get tagged a little bit, but then the pressure came in, and it's interesting. He did start rolling with the right hands from Martirosyan a little bit. It just goes to show you he did the same thing against Canelo. That he has pretty good defense, man. People people underrate Golovkin. These people that think he's just a robot with power. You're not
Coming
seeing the
forward,
fight effects.
those backsteps that he took.
Mm,
Well, he always takes. He just takes two little steps back. He's not all the way. Some people like who were talking about Floyd against Canelo. Every time Canelo would make a feint, you would see Floyd already on the other side of the ring, like jumping around. Like, get out of here! Who does that, man?
yeah,
That's you're not timing your opponent properly, so you're fucking. Amir Khan does the same thing.
mhm.
A lot of wasted movement, man.
Absolutely.
But Golovkin, there's no wasted movement. Just takes a little step back, then boom, counters. He's ready to counter you, man.
hmm
He's
And
right
if he's
there, ready to attack again.
and if he's not in position to counter, he gets himself right back in position to counter as soon as or to attack as soon as possible. I mean, this. Yeah, people again. If you want to hate on the guy, that's fine. But please leave me out of your discussions because I don't want to. I have no time to waste for that. Vanis apparently Bucho. I don't know if you read some of the post fight comments. We didn't get a chance to do that. It was pretty late. But Vanis said, and I'm looking at the box. He says, "Now I see why Canelo's eating that kind of meat." In other words, now he understands why somebody would dope in order to fight Golovkin. I mean, the guy is a monster. An absolute fucking monster. He says, I see why he's eating that kind of meat because he wanted to get the extra edge. The man is the real deal. I mean, he's 36 years old and he's still fighting like that. By the way, Vanis also said that it felt like getting hit by a truck. So, I mean, when a professional guy who has had a good amateur career, he's had a very good pro career, he's fought a lot of good guys, he's been in there with, guys that hit pretty hard themselves, like Lara, Charlo. Then again, the younger Charlo supposedly is not the puncher that his older brother is, but he's still a pretty good puncher as he showed against Lubin. So for Vanis to say that, and these guys talk about, the type of power he has, they've never experienced anything like that, that should tell you, by a train, Mr. Coxey, thanks for correcting me. By the way, Graphic process, Vanis is a super welterweight. Let me ask you something, Graphic. Is there really that much of a difference between a super welterweight and a middleweight? Because the super welterweight is a new division, relatively new division. I mean, come on, let's not make it out to be like Vanis is in the real. And by the way, answer me this,
Yes.
Graphic. Did Vanis look smaller or bigger than Golovkin? I will await your response. Yeah, go ahead, Butcher.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. I mean, yeah, obviously you have some small super welterweights that maybe moved up all the way from 140, then to 147, then to 154. But then you have guys like who started their career at 154 who are pretty big for that division. Just like, let's say, for example, Jared Hurd. He's gonna eventually move up to 160, and now you're gonna be saying when somebody beats Hurd at 160, if somebody actually beats Hurd at 160, are we gonna start saying, oh well, that guy who beat Hurd, he beat a 154 pounder?
Exactly. Exactly.
I
I
mean,
mean,
come on.
listen.
Vanes is not a small 154 pounder. Get out of here.
I know, but listen, he's been wanting to discredit Golovkin since this fight was announced.
Yeah,
So
I know.
he has the right to do it, but I mean, it gets tiresome after a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I got no time to be dealing. I just wanted to point out his comment because I was kind of expecting that response. But anyway, look, listen, this sets up things for bigger fights down the line. The big question is whether Golovkin is gonna take on Canelo in a rematch. My guess would be yes. Way too much money involved. That's Golovkin's biggest payday. That's really one of the biggest fights in boxing. I know some of the guys here in the panel would argue that it's bigger worldwide than Joshua versus what's his name, Wilder. So, by the way, I see we have Cameron on the line.
Fuck, mate, it's life, man. You only live once. Make the most of life. Enjoy it. Because everybody's got their weird fetishes, man. And mine just happens to be eating fucking ass.
That's right, the one, the only Cameron Gillon. Cameron, are you there?
Yeah, man, what's going on? Oh, I can hear myself a bit, but yeah, man, it's a nice hot day here. I'm actually glad that you guys are on at this time, man, because later on tonight I'll be going to the beach, man, so I'm glad you're on
Again?
early.
You didn't get enough of the beach on Friday?
Nah, man, I mean, obviously I live on the seafront, on the south coast of England, so it's literally only a short walk away, so I'll be going there later on tonight with a friend of mine, well, a lady friend, so yeah, man, I'm glad you're online so we can talk some boxing before that.
Yeah. The reason we do it on Sundays is to end a little earlier, but also to give try to meet everybody halfway. People on the East Coast and the people in Europe who are at minimum 5 hours ahead of us. So I'm glad you're here, Cameron. What are your thoughts on the Golovkin fight? I mean, anything surprised you? Anything stood out to you?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised that Golovkin knocked him out so easy. Like I was on the show last night saying I thought Varnas will surprise a few people. I thought he might go, maybe 8-9 rounds. Because I know people like to criticise, the fight. But Varnas is, I know he was 154 pounder or established 154 pounder, but I thought he beat Charlo. I thought he beat Lara. So we're talking about a guy who should have been a world champion at 154 pounds with 2 elite wins at that division. So for me, I wasn't too disappointed in the fight. Varnas never got stopped before. Golovkin ran through him. I thought Golovkin looked I think it was Bucho said before, not long ago earlier on that it looked like the old Golovkin. The Golovkin that we used to seeing before. He was fighting the likes of Murray and Rosado and things like that. It was very similar to them days. Golovkin, I feel like Golovkin really I think there was a lot of frustration with Golovkin. I feel like he kind of let it all out last night in the ring. I feel like Varnas was just in a way of, you saw Golovkin, was frustrated with what happened with Canelo. So I feel like Golovkin, it showed in his performance. He's very clinical. Very surprised, man. And to be honest, I think Golovkin should get nothing but credit for that win.
Absolutely. And let me ask you this question. Was it me or did Golovkin look genuinely happy that he got to fight last night?
Well, he was guaranteed a massive purse for the Canelo fight, and I think he only got 1 million last night. I don't know, man. I mean, it's really hard to tell Golovkin because he's kind of like the same expressions all the time. To me, I don't really think he could really. I think he just wanted to get the job over and done with, like he done, because I don't think he could get motivated for the fight. I think he just went there, done a job. But for me, I feel like he let a lot of frustration out in that fight last night. He wanted to fight Canelo as a big camp, and obviously he got his pay cut completely crunched. So for me, I was surprised with how the fight played out. Like I said, I thought Varnas would pose some problems, to be honest. But no, Golovkin blew him out, and it was a good win as well. Like people, Golovkin haters will say it was Varnas was a nobie and stuff like that. But Varnas is a legit guy. And like Bucho said, he was big on the weigh-ins as well. So it was a much better win than a lot of people make it out to be.
Okay, now there's something interesting. Oh, by the way, Cameron, I can hear the feedback of. All right, thanks. I don't know what telecast you watched, but in the chat room, people are saying that the HBO commentary was horrible. Max Kellerman apparently was disrespectful to Triple G, according to Graphic, and according to Mr. Coxey, the HBO commentary was horrible, and they were against Golovkin. Did you watch the HBO feed or?
No, I didn't watch the HBO feed. I watched the fight this morning, and it was a actual foreign commentary, so I turned it down to watch the fight. But I'm not surprised by that. It happened in the first fight. Kellerman, they're all on Canelo, aren't they? They're all kind of team Canelo. The big money guy. Even though the Canelo's the one that popped, they seem to be supporting him still. So I wasn't surprised by that. I mean, Golovkin for me, Kellerman's always been high on Golovkin, but he's always been higher on the guys that have been kind of in the rivalry with him. Kellerman's, and we all know what he feels about Andre Ward. I mean, you think they're married, and so it wouldn't surprise me. It's not surprising that they're kind of like that.
Yeah, man. I am surprised because I would have thought that they would have tried to be a little bit more, even because with Golovkin and Canelo. But the fact that I'd like to know what people were saying. If anybody in the chat room could give us some specifics of what they said. Subash says, "Good thing Max Kellerman didn't mention Andrew Ward." I'm actually surprised he didn't bring up Andrew Ward. I was expecting him to at least be brought up about, I don't know, minimum 5 times. Could be wrong, but that's usually what Max Kellerman does. Max Kellerman could look at a coat hanger and somehow find a way to bring up Andrew Ward and compare the coat hanger to him. I mean, this guy's obsessed with Andrew Ward. But anyway, all right. So the big question is, Canelo Triple G rematch. Does it happen this year?
No, not for me, it doesn't. It happens next May. I think Canelo's going to fight Spike O'Sullivan in September. I mean, Bellew-Haye's come out and said that Canelo's going to fight twice this year. He's not going to fight Golovkin in September and then fight again. If he's going to fight Golovkin, it will be only fight he fights this year. So for me, it will happen next May, which is really pathetic, to be honest with you. For me, Golovkin and Canelo, it should be next. If it doesn't happen, I mean, I'd rather see Golovkin Saunders, to be honest, man. I'm not sure what's going on with the IBF situation. Maybe I'm not sure if he's been stripped of that yet. If he hasn't, then maybe they fight Derevchenko and they put a deal in place for that. But if he doesn't, maybe they fight Saunders. But in my opinion, the Golovkin-Canelo fight won't happen until next May.
All right, now so that's your prediction. Actually, would you rather see Golovkin take on? That's what you said, right? You would rather see Golovkin take on somebody other than Canelo?
Yeah, I'd rather see him fight. I'd only rather see him fight Saunders. If it's not Saunders, then I think it has to be Canelo. That's my preference.
All right, that's interesting. Yeah, because people in the chat room, real quick, they're saying. First of all, Coran said HBO commentators are never worth hearing. That's why I like going to the fights. You don't get to hear all the mouth thirds. Graphic Pro says Max Kellerman said Triple G doesn't look good against elite fighters like Jacobs and Catchway. No, hey, he beat those guys. I mean, what else does he have to do against elite opposition? Dino says Max trying to get Triple G DQ'd for hitting Vanes when he was on the floor when he hadn't even hit the canvas. I tell you, Max Kellerman is starting to lose it, man. Del Boy says I'd rather Triple G fight Joe Saunders or Vichenko or Charlo. Fuck Canelo. Robert Reed says Max Kellerman was saying Triple G after Canelo fight. He said because he's not getting knockouts in his last 2, it's because he can only do it against low-level fighters. Well, listen, I'll grant him that against elite guys he can't knock him out. But look, the only guy he's never dropped really and stopped is Canelo, and that guy's a beast. And he was probably on something that night. So Jacobs got dropped. He got hurt in the 10th round. He got backed up. Kell Brook didn't hit the canvas, but he got his face demolished. So I think Max Kellerman is trying to be a little too on the fence on this one. By the way, before we continue, we got to announce that we have Recognize the Matrix on the line.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
That's right. Don't fucking believe what you hear on the news. And we also got Pavel back on the line. Guys, how are you?
What's going on?
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're always welcome. And we're talking about Golovkin, Vanes Martirosyan. Recognize, I'll start with you. Did you catch the fight And if so, did anything stand out to you? Anything surprise you?
I did catch the fight. The only thing that surprised me, and maybe I should have not been so surprised, was that he sparked Vanez out of there in 2 rounds. It wasn't a surprise. It was just good to see him take care of a guy who more than likely didn't belong in the ring with him in 2 rounds, which tells me he's still dangerous. Is he still in his prime? No, I don't think he is. I think I see some slippage in his reflex, but still good enough to wipe out somebody like Vanez, who never been wiped out. And that's what happens when, you fight a guy who hasn't fought in almost 2 years, but was top level. So it was good to see him do that. This whole thing that he's 154 pounds is nonsense. You're telling me 6 pounds makes that much of a difference? Or is the fighter in Golovkin that made that much of a difference? I think it's the latter.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you watch the HBO feed?
Yes, I did. And what's going on with Roy Jones and Max Kellerman bitching, trying to get Golovkin disqualified? What's going on with that?
That's what I wanted to ask you, because I didn't see it with any HBO commentary. I watched it mute, so I didn't get to hear any of that. Didn't want to hear any of it. But what were they saying?
First of all, it was good comedy. I just got to say that. That was listening to Roy Jones talk. I mean, this country ass, this old washed up country ass bum. If this was Roy Jones Jr. would have got disqualified.
Oh, he always says that. He always says that.
And he starts puckering his shoulders up like you can't see his neck. This is Roy Jones Jr. and it was Roy.
Yeah, he does that, man.
He's like a chicken.
Stop the disrespect, man. Stop the disrespect to an all-time great.
Nah, he's right. He acts like a chicken. He acts like a rooster. He starts cocking his head up.
I was out today, man, and I managed to get a hold of the original Roy Jones, Glenn Kelly, 2002 light heavyweight title official fight program today, man.
Why would you do that?
Anyway, fuck Roy Jones. That's all I gotta say about him, man. They just look so. I don't know what they were trying to do, honestly. I don't know what the whole telecast, how they, before the fight even happened, the whole Canelo situation, how they were running it down, that it was a mistake on Canelo's part, and almost trying to blame Golovkin for the fight not happening. You got to, read between the lines, and it shouldn't be that hard to see that they were trying to paint the picture. Anyway, after the fight was over, I thought it was a beautiful combination, and, they were trying to distract what he just did by saying, he hit him when his knee was down on the canvas, and if this was Roy Jones Jr., I would have been only Roy Jones gets disqualified. To me, it was just nonsense. Roy Jones hit Montel Griffin when he took a knee. There's a difference. So look at that fight. He took a knee right in front of Roy Jones' face, and Roy hit him twice. Now Montel flopped. He sold it. He sold the whole thing, but there was a difference. Vanez was trying to take a knee while he was getting caught with beautiful combinations. But I'm loving the hate from the Wilder fangirls.
Really? What are they saying?
Man. These videos are comedy. I mean, if you want a good laugh, just go watch any title that's, shitting on Triple G and comparing him to Wilder. You'll know right away who's part of that community, and you should get a good laugh.
You know what? I want to have a good laugh, but I mean, I don't have time for that. I know what they're gonna say. You know what I mean? And I'm glad you brought up Roy Jones and his country ass, because
I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town.
But you know what? You know what I hate about Roy Jones also? I mean, I liked him as a fighter, and I like him as a commentator, but he's getting a little bit, he can get a little bit weird. And the other thing he always does is when he's on camera and he starts to get excited, he starts bobbing his head a little bit when he's talking, and he starts puckering his lips, like he's getting ready to fight or something. I'm thinking, yeah, the guy's a good public speaker, watch the speech he gave at Miles Stewart's funeral. He's a very good public speaker. He can captivate the audience with his words, just like he did with his hand speed when he was a boxer. But some people are saying that he's a Triple G hater, man. So, I mean,
I don't know if he's a Triple G hater, but he's like part of, and this is just my opinion, he's part of this narrative, this propaganda of I'm more on Canelo's side, even though I know it was his fault. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I get from him. You're right. When it comes to breaking down fights, sometimes he's really good to listen to. His speeches are pretty good, like what you said about Emmanuel Stewart. But when he gets salty, he sounds like a fucking, oh man, he just sounds like a typical country, washed up country bum.
washed up country bum. All right. So we got that commentary. But, so I wanted to get to Pavel. Pavel, what are your thoughts on the fight last night? Or if you want to talk about Roy Jones, first, I mean, go whatever you want.
No, fuck that guy. Well, first of all, I caught up with the fight, and I think that was one of the most impressive KOs in Triple G's career ever. I mean, the accuracy that he connected all of those punches is just remarkable, even at his old age.
Don't you just love how Triple G doesn't throw 1-2s, he throws 1-4s?
Yeah, and in a different tempo, I might add. So, but anyways, I have to also commend the Martirosyan guy. He came to fight, unlike Canelo and Jacobs, and went out on a shield. So, yeah.
All right, so there you go. He doesn't like Roy Jones.
Where's boxing style at? He said Varnas was going to go to the points decision, man. Where's he at?
You know what?
BDA said that too.
I don't know where he is, but I'll tell you where I hope he isn't, in the morgue with a headshot wound, self-inflicted shotgun wound. I hope he's doing all right. He lives.
I thought Vons would at least make it to the 5th.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, reverse. You can't talk until I play this.
Reverse. That people say that's where you go if you want your career to blow up.
California, man. That's
the land of the pedophiles.
All right, reverse. Thank you for being on. Continue. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
I don't know.
You at least thought Golovkin would get to the 5th round.
Yeah, I thought Vons would at least get to the 5th. I thought that he'd probably build up some damage throughout 2, 3, and 4, and then he would just crumble at the 5th.
Yeah, why did we all thought that it was going to go 12 rounds? I mean, why were we underestimating Golovkin?
Who said it was going to go 12?
Well, boxing style.
Boxing style.
A lot of you guys said that you wouldn't be surprised if you went 12
Exactly,
rounds.
that's what I'm saying. We thought he was going to go past the 6th at least. I mean, I know Stu said, said 5th, and reverse, I think you said early stoppage as well, right?
Yes.
All right, so reverse
at it the closest. They said fight doesn't go past 5.
I think I said I guarantee that Martirosyan wouldn't get to 10.
Yeah.
I said that I thought Varnas would surprise us. I didn't say he'd go the distance. I didn't think he'd go the distance, man. I feel like Golovkin would stop him, mid to late rounds. The boxing style, I want him to come on, man. Explain why he thought Varnas would go the points decision and eat his humble pie.
Yeah, he's gonna come on. He's in the chat room, so he's gonna be in. And by the way, I wanted to tell Reverse something. Reverse, I was with Bucho watching the fight. We were having some low sodium popcorn along with some sugar-free vanilla Pepsis, because that's how we do it on the weekends, girlfriend. And
you guys are lame.
Yeah.
I know. I'm kidding.
Sounds like a lesbian party.
Exactly. That's the joke. But anyway, I was watching the fight. I was starting to enjoy it, and then you fucked me up because I couldn't stop looking at Golovkin's ankles to see if they were thin. You ruined my night, Reverse. Thank you very much for that.
I mean, you can't really tell because he had those beautiful high top white Jordans on.
Oh yes, that's right. Those were some good shoes, man. Very good shoes. That guy's he's got the connect with Nike. But anyway, yeah, so we were all expecting it to go, or most of us were expecting it to go make it past the 6th or something. I mean, we were wrong. What can we say? But now here's the thing. Like I said,
We underestimated the God of War.
That's right. Oh yeah, that fucking picture from that BDA BDA Butcher did last evening. Primo stuff.
I think
man,
Stewart's production was right on, man.
It was. It really was.
Something Stewart said. He said if I was Golovkin, I wouldn't waste no time. Stop him as soon as possible, and I think that's what he's gonna do. So to me, it won't go past 5. He said something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, guys?
Oh, Boxing Style is here.
Oh shit, snap, son.
Boxing Style.
I thought Mafia will take care of you.
I said 12 rounds, and I said maybe. I don't know. It might end up as a complete blowout. Yeah, I was leaning towards 12 rounds. I'm not gonna fucking go against my words. I said what I said, and I'm.
Eat your humble pie, bro. Listen, put your cereal to the side and eat your humble pie, bro.
Oh.
Hey, I tell you this much, bro. What I saw from what's his name? Pretty rusty. Pretty rusty, but I don't think that made a difference. Even if, let's say, for 2 years he was still active, it would have the fight. I mean, the way the Triple G came out, man. Did you see how he looked compared to what he was looking with Canelo and Jacobs the first round? Mm-hmm. He was aggressive as fuck. That's the Triple G I wanted to see against Canelo. But I didn't think he was going to come out like aggressive against Banez because he wanted to let it out, actually got on Canelo instead of Banez. But he let it out on Banez. Jesus, he didn't let go, man. That's the same intensity he came out with against Kell Brook. Mm-hmm. And then he just let go. And he just let go, and he stopped because he broke his eye socket. He let go for a moment there. He didn't realize he broke it, but that one punch, that right hand that he landed on him, that first round, that was the breaking point of Kell Brook in that first round.
Can we talk about how Roy Jones was hating on the win?
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that?
That fool's a hater, man.
It's about levels, isn't it? Like, like people say, Golovkin was more aggressive against Barnes as he did with Canelo. It's about levels. That's why. I mean, you're going to be that.
The thing with Vanez is, if he was at his A game, he would have made him miss a few more times. He would have survived maybe up to like 5 or 6 from the way that Triple G came out. Maybe. That's still a big maybe. Because Triple G came out fucking blazing, man. Anybody at that moment. It would have been Jacobs, would have been Canelo. That would have been devastating. The way he threw that last 6 combination shot at him when he knocked him out. He got that shit ready for Canelo.
Someone's phone's going off, man.
Yeah, reverse. I think it's your phone on the table again, man.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Vibrator.
All right, everybody with the fucking reverse just dropped out. I hope he comes back.
Did you guys notice how he threw that 6 combination?
Dude,
he threw 2 jabs. Yeah, he threw 2 jabs, and then he went, I'm gonna throw. Like he's gonna throw the right, but he didn't throw the right. He did a left hook and followed with the same left hand. He did an uppercut, what came in with the right, and then Vanez was already going down, and then he came in with a left hook right when he was going down. Mm-hmm. That was the end. That was the end for Vanez.
Guys with anybody can do that. Overrated.
Yeah, exactly, Bucho. It's overrated. I was gonna say, guys with the head size of Vanez. I'm thinking like Kell Brook. They have no chance when they get hit by those punches by Golovkin. It's just like it's not built to withstand that with gloves on, even with gloves on. Mm-hmm. But that combination, going back to what Boxing Style was saying, I thought that was impressive because he landed every shot. They were showing it in slow motion, and I'm like, I'm listening to Roy Jones and this fucking hater Max Kellerman, right? And I'm listening to them. I'm like, dude, why are you not talking about that? They like waiting to see when he hits Vanez when his knee touched the canvas, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, dude, look at the fucking combination. He's landing all those punches. They all landing. So to me,
the reason why it would be that was set up for Canelo is because when Canelo went on the ropes,
correct.
Triple G wasn't. Yeah, Triple G was more leaning towards on the jab. Now it was like I think that was his game plan against Canelo. He's gonna throw the jab, and then two jab. He's gonna snap the jab twice, and then Canelo's gonna go on his guard. Yeah, no, he's gonna go on a guard, and then he's gonna feint the right, come in with the left hook.
Yeah,
and then maybe an uppercut afterwards, depending on how Canelo reacts, and they come in with the right.
He was setting up that uppercut. He was setting it up too.
He prepped for Canelo, but he fucking shitted on Vargas.
And by the way, boxing style, I gotta really, sincerely, congratulations, man.
For what?
You didn't kill yourself last night. That's good, man. Congratulations.
Man.
You deserve all the credit in the world, man.
That the Armenian mafia didn't catch him. And
I said Triple G is gonna win. Nothing changed. The fact that I said Triple G is gonna win or lose. He's gonna win. I said he's gonna. But just say I thought he was gonna go 12 because I thought Vanez would probably be good enough to avoid him. Like if he played survival mode like Danny Jacobs did, or Canelo, maybe he would have gone further.
Can I ask a question? X was on the call last night and he said that Vargas would only get beat if he was poisoned. So was he poisoned?
He was poisoned.
Well, I know in X's world, he was poisoned. I'm sure.
Did you guys hear the thing, the comment, the interview with Vanez? He said that he just wanted to test him out. He wanted to feel his power. Man, you made a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
He said right before he walked out. He said right before he walked out the ring, he said to Max Kellerman that was the hardest punch he ever got hit with.
Yeah, he is like a truck. Kovalev got knocked down by him, man. Kovalev, a light heavyweight. That's what I'm telling you. He could go up all the way to light heavyweight and fight those guys.
I don't think he would, man, because he struggled a little bit against Jacobs. Imagine, I think those stories of him sparring bigger guys are a little overstated.
He played with Jacobs. He played with Jacobs.
I disagree.
He's too small for light heavyweight. He's too small for light heavyweight, man.
I think so too. I think at this point, if he would have did it a couple of years
earlier,
a couple of years earlier, I could see him going up there, pulling off a big win at light heavyweight, but not now.
He's small. That's his issue. But I think he could take advantage of his the jab that he has that nobody has in all of boxing right now.
Mm-hmm.
That jab that he has, man, it's insanity. That jab nullified Vanez, and I think the first round you gave, so a lot of people gave it to Vanez, but I didn't give that round to Vanez. It was a close round, but because of the right hand that Vanez landed on him.
There were some channels that were like, we're boycotting this fight. This is a trash fight, whatever. But these same channels that said that when the fight was over, they had an update of what happened.
Yeah, man. They're gonna boycott a fight that's for free as well.
Right, a free fight.
Desperate for content.
Exactly.
I found it entertaining, man. I found the Haye fight entertaining too, and I found this fight. It was finished. I like fights that go at least past 6 or 7, 8 rounds.
Especially
who wants to be the guy to be the only person that watched the Cecilia Breakus fight?
Oh, well, I'd love to get Stu's thoughts on that, but he's not here.
I got time for that.
I only watched Siciliano weigh-in.
Oh, is that right?
All I know is Breakus got put on the canvas, and I read that from a tweet.
Lucky for me, I got home just in time. I watched a little bit of the Cavs versus Toronto, and right when the game was over, went to HBO. And that fucking fight was over. The two girls. So I lucked out.
They could have done a better undercard, man. But hey, last minute shit and all that, they had to rebuild. So
BDA, about Triple G's power.
Mm-hmm.
Did you even know that he broke Grove's ribs in a sparring match? That's not a joke. Groves admitted that he broke his ribs.
Whoa. Yeah, that's
crazy,
power.
man. That motherfucker has power, bro.
There's no doubt about it.
Serious power.
There's no doubt that his power. It's interesting. Bucho and me were having a discussion once about who hits harder, Lemieux or Golovkin. And Golovkin, he doesn't have the type of power that's gonna knock out cold, these top level guys. But he can drop. I mean, listen. The only guy he couldn't drop was Kilbrook, but he stopped him. And the other guy he couldn't drop was Canelo. Then again, Canelo has very good defense and counterpunching, and that's the main reason why he's able to keep. Yeah, that too. But that's the reason why he was able to keep Golovkin at bay a little bit. Other than that, I don't see that many guys being able to survive 12 rounds without getting dropped against Golovkin.
Canelo has more than clenbuterol, HGH, all kinds of shit in his fucking system, man.
Well, actually,
you can't have a big ass head like that. His head was never that big.
You remind me
what it is now.
No, but I think I understand clenbuterol is just tip of the iceberg.
I think I understand what BDA is saying. Canelo does have good defense, and yeah, look, I have a feeling that he's more than likely experimenting with a lot of PEDs. I'm sure. I'm sure he's not the only one. But what he's saying is like the only person that showed that they couldn't get knocked down through a whole fight was Canelo, and a lot of that has to do with pretty good defense and trying to survive at certain spots.
He does. He does. Canelo has that nice roll with the punches. He has like that's primary thing that saved Canelo from getting KO'd with that right hand at Triple G.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, we have Cachnello give me my fight. It's been a while since we haven't had Cachnello. Are you there?
Hey BDA, how you doing?
Good to have you back. What are your thoughts on? Yes, everybody.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt Boxing Style and his serial.
Well, listen, Boxing Style is in grief right now, so we're gonna let you.
I was in grief, man. I was pissed yesterday. I was like, damn, man, he should have at least gone like maybe 8 rounds. Like, fuck it happens. It's fighting, man. You never know. Maybe could have been Triple G on the other side. You never know.
Graphic Pod says Canelo was fighting like Mayweather.
Canelo was fighting a little bit, yeah. He was in certain instances he was moving way too much, but hey, he did counterpunch too.
He was running around, man. He was playing survival mode when he fought Triple G. And sometimes, he stand by the ropes, let Triple G come to him, waiting for the counter, because that's his thing. But majority of the fight, he was running. You can't say he wasn't. And he also had a prep fight for 160 before he even fought Triple G.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That was a prep fight if there ever was one. Cachnello, what are your thoughts? I mean, were you impressed a little bit? Or?
Well, I was there at the fight last night. It was pretty fun. The disappointing thing was that ring walk was probably lasted longer than the fight. But yeah, it was good. I mean, one thing I noticed was Golovkin's maybe not his footwork, but his foot movement seemed a lot quicker than Canelo. I thought his nerves in the Canelo fight were kind of like they were getting to him, because I know a lot of people say that the crowd takes a lot of energy from you. I kind of agree with that. You can see Triple G was a little more loose in there. So yeah, I mean, I like the combination punching. He probably didn't go to the body as much as I expected him to, but no, he did well. I like that. This is like a kind of like a vintage Golovkin fight, because the way he ended the fight where he does that the
last 5-10 seconds where he just like threw a bunch of wide hooks.
Yeah, like he threw that overhand right, and then he was kind of pawing with that jab a couple times to sort of like keep Vanes off of him, and then he threw that right cross to set up that left hook. I thought that was pretty cool.
And the uppercut.
Yeah, the uppercut too. That kind of started it all. But yeah, it was a good fight. I enjoyed it for as long as it lasted.
Yeah, the beginning of the end, as they like to say. Listen, the point is this. My question is, first of all, before we continue, we have a BDA exclusive. That's right, an exclusive. We're starting to expand here, and we get things that most other guys can't get. I don't know if you know this, but we have a special correspondent in Mexico, Catalina Sanchez. She's very good looking, and she's a good reporter, which is the second most important thing here at BDA. And she actually was with Canelo last night. So I'm going to just read the article real quick. Let me get through it. Please don't interrupt, and because I want to get through this as quickly as possible. It says...
Oh, shit.
What the fuck was that? All right. It says, Gennady Golovkin might have scored a second-round knockout of Golovkin-Martirosyan, but a certain someone was not impressed. Saul Canelo Alvarez, 49 won with 34 knockouts, who settled for a disputed draw against Golovkin last September, did not watch the fight. Instead, he spent the day in his Guadalajara ranch with BDA reporter Catalina Sanchez. He says, I did not watch the Golovkin fight. I don't care about him unless he's in front of me in the ring. Catalina asked Canelo if he has ever been on performance-enhancing drugs. To that, Canelo said no, he's never used steroids or anything like that. I am clean, Canelo said. One of the horses then went on to accidentally hit Canelo on the face with its tail. The middleweight fighter tore his shirt off, wrestled the 1,000-pound animal to the ground, broke its neck, and proceeded to feast on its raw flesh. Test me whenever you want.
Legit.
Test me whenever you want, Canelo said, his face a crimson mask while munching on the horse. Just make sure it's 2 months before the fight, not before. So there you have it, guys. Canelo did not watch the fight. But here's my question to you.
Did you sit and write this yesterday or today?
No, that's Catalina wrote that. Catalina wrote that. She's a Mexican correspondent. Catalina, that's right.
Does she have a big ass?
She's got a big everything. Let me tell you that much right now. How do you think she got the job, by the way? I ran an exclusive interview with her.
I did an interview.
Casting couch, baby. But anyway, here's my... and she was crying at the end.
Dominican girl named Catalina before.
Is that right?
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same girl.
Maybe. Did she cry after you harassed her, or?
Yeah, something like that happened. Yeah.
Okay, because she cried a little bit after she was done with me. But anyway, or rather, when I was done with her. Here's the thing, guys. Here's my question. People are saying that Canelo's going to fight in September and he might fight Spike O'Sullivan or somebody else. Is this just a ploy to try to get Triple G desperate and so that he accepts lower terms than the last fight, or do you really think he's? Yeah.
I don't think Canelo wants Triple G.
Yeah.
I think he'll drag it around next year. I don't think he wants it. After seeing this, because that punch combination, that last punch combination is a nightmare for Canelo. Because he's not going to know where it's going to come from. Because he's going to have that left hook that's right there and the right hand that's right there. And he's not afraid of Canelo's power anymore after experiencing in the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be bad for Canelo. And he's not going to want it until maybe he's 39 years old or something. He'll probably take the fight then.
I think the plan for Canelo is to age him a little bit more. You know, see if he starts to look a little bit vulnerable and beatable. You know, because I don't think obviously it wasn't enough. Let's say if you're Canelo and you did every PED, right? You can imagine. I'm just speaking hypothetically, right? And then you know that Golovkin wasn't, and that's the best you can do. That's got to discourage you, right? And then you see him knock out Vanez in 2 rounds. Granted, Vanez hasn't fought in 2 years, but nobody has even come close to demolishing Vanez like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're Canelo. You're saying to yourself, maybe I should wait a little bit long. You know, wait him out another year at least.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, maybe now Canelo was in there with him, so he knows better than. Maybe he said, this guy's a little bit too much for me right now, like you're saying. Let's stretch it out a little bit and see if Golovkin gets older.
They might have had a snitch in Triple G's camp about how good he's getting. That's a possibility. This jerk shit that he pulled off is fake. That was a duck.
But then again,
duck, and somebody might have snitched in Abel Sanchez's gym. And they're like, maybe you should pull off on this fight. Come up with an excuse.
Oh, yeah, I saw an interview with Abel Sanchez where he said that he thinks that Billy Joe Saunders will never fight Golovkin.
Now, why would he say that?
I believe that. $7 million for Jacobs.
Especially not
He
now,
did mention that.
And by the way, Boxing Style said that there might have been a snitch in Abel Sanchez's camp. If that's the case, I think Abel Sanchez should tighten his shirts around his belly the way and tighten that security up the same way. Because if there's a snitch, it's proving to be a bad thing right there. But here's the other thing. We're talking about how good Golovkin looked, but let's face it, like Buchu's saying in the chat room, Canelo is a better level of fighter. With or without the roids, the guy has good defense, good counterpunching. He gets people's respect. And I don't know if it's really a case of Golovkin improving as much as it was him fighting a guy that wasn't Canelo.
The one who went 12 rounds with Lara. I
And
mean, we played that head to head now.
Martirosyan beat Lara, arguably beat Lara in a 12-round fight.
Hmm.
You know, the
That
problem that I
steroids
have,
plays a big
the
part.
problem
That
that I have
steroids plays
with
a big part.
just saying that
Yeah.
Canelo and Danny Jacobs went 12 rounds with Golovkin. The problem I have with that is the people are not explaining the approach of both of those fights. The approach in both of those fights were, especially in Danny Jacobs'
Survive.
situation, was to survive. Now, I do think that Canelo did stand his ground a lot more than Jacobs did in that fight. But when you go in survival mode and you're an elite fighter and you have pretty good defense, and in Canelo's case, he's got underrated defense at times. Um, it you know that's the reason why they survived. Now, if they would have been in there banging it out and slipping punches, toe to toe, and you telling me that they went 12 rounds with Golovkin, I would say, yeah, maybe you're right. There's some slip in his game. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But Vanez is not that type of fighter. Vanez has always been, he brings the fight to you. He brings the fight. He does a little. Defensively, he's responsible enough not to get seriously hurt. The only thing that I take away from Golovkin in that fight is that he shows me he still can knock out guys that you know don't don't belong in the ring with him. When
Hmm.
you see guys that don't belong in the ring and then they go the distance or hurt them and they make them look bad, that's when I say Golovkin is starting to decline dramatically, in my opinion.
Very good points. Very good points. I mean,
Let's not forget the fact that Daniel Jacobs put on what, like 27 pounds.
Right. I mean, do you remember? Do you remember this guy's Sean Porter's father saying, "Why did he gain all that weight? He was almost 200 pounds. Why did he do that for?"
hmm
So yeah, he did gain a lot of weight.
yeah,
It was
at least 20
almost
pounds.
200 pounds. Damn.
Yeah, it's like the bigger guy was like the guy on the back foot. I mean, that was kind of a joke.
He looked to me like he was at least fight night. He was like 180.
No, well,
Yeah,
Like
I think
maybe, yeah.
the Jacobs camp, the team said like he was at least 182 pounds. I mean, that's what Jim Lampley said. But I mean, that guy was like 190, I think.
I don't think
He
it's
was like,
190 because what is he like 6'1"?
yeah.
I,
6.
feet tall.
Yeah, 6 feet. 190. He'll show gut. It's no
mhm.
way. He's gonna show gut. He's like
One of
180 or
our one of our
less.
panelists that aren't here right now, he said he went to the fight and he said that the cameras didn't do it justice, and Daniel looked like he was at least like 2 weight classes over on Golovkin.
I think I remember that. I forget
Two,
who it
yes,
was.
yeah.
I mean, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
he didn't even look that big versus Selecki.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And look what
Selecki's like
happened there.
5'11", I think.
Actually, Jacobs is
Selecki's
listed.
5'11", man. Selecki's bigger than Jacobs.
That's what I was gonna say because according to BoxRec, supposedly Jacobs is only 5'11". That can't be because he does look taller than. I know Golovkin fights crouching down, but he looked taller than Golovkin, man, for sure. I think the guy's like 6'1", like you guys are saying.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys see Golovkin get rocked in the first round?
Yes, a
The
little
last
bit.
10, 15 seconds?
Yes,
Yeah,
a little
Yeah, I
bit.
think
That
they were
was
talking about when I think you're talking about when Martirosyan he threw the 1-2, but he added an extra 1 to it.
yeah, yeah, I think it was like the
What was
11
it?
like
Was it a
a
one
left.
or? Yeah, go ahead.
It was one of those
Yeah.
Kovalev combinations.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was
that's
kind
a good
of
point. Yeah, that was like a Kovalev combination.
yeah, exactly what it looked like one of those straight Kovalev punches. But I was listening to an interview of Vanes saying that I think one of Triple G's team members told him that Vanes was actually one of the hardest punchers he fought,
Hmm.
and I thought that was kind of strange because the way Golovkin came in like in the second round, like very aggressive, kind of reminded me of that Golovkin Brook fight where Golovkin, I think it was like the fourth round, he just came on pressing Brook like relentlessly. It kind of looked like that. I think Triple G was like, nah, this guy can hurt me. I gotta put this guy's lights out. I don't want
Hmm.
I don't want to take any chances.
Yeah, Canelo. That's exactly what that's what I thought, and it made me think about what Stewart said. When he said on his prediction, he said, I don't think Golovkin should mess around and just take this guy out early. I don't know if he was referring to that he thought that the more you keep Vanez in the fight, the more dangerous
Yeah.
the fight will get. But it sounded like that's what Stewart was hinting towards, and I think Golovkin got caught like stunned with a shot, or it got his attention,
Hmm.
and he just that's it. He didn't waste no time. He beat him up in that second round. I mean, he was really aggressive, and that combination in the end was, to me, was beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
it was a
That
beauty. It
looked
was
like that
flowing.
reminded me of when Triple G when when we first saw him on HBO and he fought Proxa.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's a good comparison. That's right. He looked. I mean, he looked. That's what Golovkin will do. I
Because
guess these lower
he
tier
just like
guys.
laid it all out on Martirosyan.
But you know what? Canelo made a good point about that. That Golovkin, when he gets hurt, he actually gets more dangerous. He wants to take you out earlier. So that what happened against Canelo, because it seemed like he knew maybe that Canelo was gonna start slowing down after the third or fourth, because he never got hit as clean as Brook did in the first two rounds against him. So that's I
I,
think that's
I'll say
Yeah.
one more thing. I'll say one more thing about Golovkin's excellent punching combination at the end. Remember what Pavel was talking about? What me and Pavel, mainly Pavel was the one that brought it up. How these fighters get so much power generated from their legs.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Golovkin displayed that beautifully at the end of that fight.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
he was
saw him
set.
Exactly.
digging in
Exactly.
the ground. He was digging in the ground with his foot and just getting the best of his shots from his
And you know
legs.
what? I might add that he's very professional at what he does when he shift his weights, right? He
Yep.
doesn't do it in a very like profound or exaggerated matter. It's like you see very little of the hip movement and the weight transfers all the way through. So yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Agree. Yep.
All
His
right.
technique is sound, but the thing is, even when if he doesn't use his technique and he just throws his jab ridiculously, doesn't put no torque behind it, it's still devastating to whoever he hits.
I mean, look
Big
what
Absolutely.
he did.
forearms.
All he pretty much did to Jacobs was just jab his face off, and every time he threw the jab at Daniel, he would look straight up at the sky. He was just like
Yeah,
blop,
yeah, but he
blop. It's like what
torqued
that
those
guy on.
jabs.
It's like what the guy on Showtime says, a proverbial Pez dispenser. That's what Daniel looked like the entire fight.
By the way, before we continue, I see that Apology Man and Precise Puncher are on the line.
Dependent upon how you interpret the data.
Yeah,
What's up
that was
with all the
that was
transvestites
like 10 years ago.
in Hollywood, though? Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
That's right. And by the way, Apology, we're also working on your introduction. We're just waiting to see what type of track we can come up with. Guys, thank you for coming into the show. We're talking obviously about Golovkin and Martirosyan, the post-fight. Let's start with Apology, because I just want to see if his connection is good. We tend to have problems with Apology's connection. Apology, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, okay. Can you count from 1 to 5 just real quick to see how long your connection can last?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go. All right. There's a little bit of a background noise, but that's okay. All right. So, Apology, did you enjoy the fight? And did you think it went the way you expected? I think you said late rounds, right?
Yeah, I didn't think it would end that quickly, but GGG just went there, did the job he's supposed to do, and then he's gonna move on to probably Canelo again.
Now, here's my question. People are saying that they think Golovkin fought better than he did against Canelo. Do you think he improved, or do you think it was just the opponent in front of him that made him look that way?
I think, I don't know, he looked the same to me in the Canelo and Martirosyan fight. I don't think there was any improvement or any downfall or him going downhill.
By the way, it sounds like you're in a microwave or something. But yeah, so okay, so you weren't impressed necessarily, but you thought he did what he was supposed to.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. And I gotta tell you, man, our predictions, most of our predictions were off. Most of us thought it was gonna go into the late rounds. Let's get to precise. Precise. Same question to you. Did anything catch you by surprise? Was it as you expected? Your thoughts?
I've said it before. Hello, everybody. And I'm going to
Yes.
say it again. I think the occasion of the Canelo fight, the big bright lights kind of got to Triple G, and I noticed that his legs were stiffer. Obviously, Canelo's a better fighter, so you don't expect the same kind of fight. But just looking at Triple G, he looked more loose, and above all things, he looked mean in this fight. You could tell he was pissed off, having been dicked around by Canelo, and he took all that out on poor Vanes.
Yeah, BDA will be right back. So
Yeah, just continuing on. I mean, I thought he looked a little bit better, but to answer that question, yeah, it had everything to do with the opponent in front of him because, say what you will about Vanes, as good as you think he is, he's no Canelo, right? I mean, Canelo is not only it's not just Canelo that he was fighting in that ring, you know what I mean? But he was fighting corruption and the establishment, and it was a huge stage for him to perform on, and I think he froze up just a little bit. So yeah, it's the opponent in front of you, but more so everything that Canelo brings to the table that's not necessarily Canelo himself. That I think it wasn't there in this fight. And again, Triple G just being mad and pissed off. I think he just went to work and he just didn't fear anything about Banes.
By the way, just for the record, I'm still here. I just wanted to finish listening to precise answer, and then I was gonna leave for a minute or two. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I was impressed, man, because you know I'm not saying Triple G's not slipping, but as much as I thought he slipped in the slippage that we saw in the Canelo fight, that was really down to the occasion, I think. And I'm not saying Triple G has not slipped because he clearly has, but that stub hub uppercut made its appearance yet again, and even though it didn't last very long, it was impressive to see that Triple G, and I think it did a lot for his confidence and his career. I think getting over, maybe not getting over, but getting to that Bernard Hopkins hump, right, the precipice. I think that's gonna take a lot of weight off his shoulders. You know what I mean? And I think this fight did him a lot of good. He came, he saw, he conquered, basically. No blue balls.
No.
I was
All
looking
right.
at the highlights again, and right after Triple G hurt Vanez with the straight right, he landed like a straight 8 punches in a row and didn't miss one of them.
Yeah, it was badass. And fuck Roy Jones Jr. By the way, man. He
Right,
needs to
hating
learn.
all the
He
time.
needs to learn
If
that
that
the
was
shit's
me,
not about him. But the
if
shit
that was
ain't
me, I
about
would have
him
been
anymore. Like,
disqualified. And wasn't that like 20 years ago?
look, he hit the. If I'm not mistaken, he hit him twice a second after he went down.
Yeah, he
Triple
knocked him
G.
down. He knocked him down. Then he looked at him and hit him with a two
Yeah,
piece.
yeah.
Exactly
No,
what he did.
Triple G hit him right as like a split second after his knee touched the canvas. Like he was in the midst of throwing a combination. Like there's no, you want to warn the guy and whatever. Yeah, that's fine. But disqualification, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah,
He's just
Roy
bitter. He's just a bitter old man, and whatever. Fuck it.
Roy Jones
it
is a known Triple G hater. He did the same thing when Triple G hit
Lemieux.
Lemieux. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Because he knows Triple G would have beat him back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, and him I think him and Abel Sanchez got like this like verbal thing going on. Like where they're throwing like shots at each other without like saying things at each other. I don't know, it's kind of
Uh,
weird.
It's just completely unprofessional to make somebody's, triumph all about your failures, from fucking 15, 20 years ago. Like, get over this shit, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just so unprofessional and I don't know, man. It's just lame. And then to talk about himself in third person, that just puts the fucking cherry on
Yeah,
top,
that was
man.
strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen. I like being respectful, but when somebody's being disrespectful to me, I would have said, "Shut up, old man."
Yeah, it's just there's no place, no time, or no need for any of that from Roy Jones Jr. Like, get over it, dude. This ain't about you. You know what I mean? Like, it was just really, really bad. I think he should be reprimanded by the HBO team.
Why don't they? Aren't there like other guys they can get for commentary instead of Roy Jones and Max Kellerman? I mean, I know they can't fire Max Kellerman because apparently his father is like a special guy in the sports industry.
Whose father?
Max Kellerman's.
You heard that from Thunderdome, didn't you?
Max Kellerman's
Yeah.
father. He's a very big lawyer in New York. That's, and I'll just leave it at that. He's got special privileges and connections.
Yeah, but forget about all that. I didn't really, not really
Illuminati.
trying to talk about Roy. You know what I mean?
Illuminati.
Roy
Who would
Jones
you
was
have
just hating,
replace
man.
him?
That's all. He was just hating. I think he was toting the HBO narrative. That's what I thought.
He did the same kind of the same thing last week versus Jacobs Selecki fight, where he said that the Jacobs knockdown of Golovkin was an off balance shot.
Yeah, he
Lol.
slipped. Oh, no, he said he slipped, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. That guy got pieced up twice in the chin. Like, that was a
Yeah,
legit
because you guys
knockdown.
know when you slip, the first thing you do is put your both of your hands on the ropes, and then you take a deep breath and you let it out, and then you walk slowly over to the ref and you hand him your hands, and then you just go into full survival mode for the rest of the round.
Yeah, he slipped.
Yeah.
And what's up with, since we're ragging on HBO, what's up with Max Kellerman? Now bringing up Charlo, okay. Danny Jacobs, what? And then Demetrius Andrade, when the fights that make the most sense are obviously Billy Joe Saunders for all the marbles. Derevianchenko is next in line. If he doesn't fight him next, he could give up the IBF title. You know what I mean? What the fuck? What the fuck's up with Max Kellerman? I could understand suggesting Charlo, but like Danny Jacobs just lost, arguably. Uh, Demetrius Andrade is a fucking non-entity. Forget about that guy. Like, why not bring up Billy Joe Saunders? Right, that's a huge fight. Why, if you don't want to talk about Canelo, Derevianchenko, he's next in line. He likes to come forward. That's the kind of fight we just saw. Two guys that stand their ground and fight. Max Kellerman he needs to take the BBC out his fucking
That's
mouth,
a
man.
good point.
Exactly.
Why not bring up Billy Joe Saunders? Why are you bringing up
Because
all
he's
these
white.
other guys
Because
to
he's
protect
white.
Canelo?
But he fights black though, so
Yeah, I agree.
Why boys ain't slick?
We
No.
don't we don't
They're
need
all
we do not we don't need no white devils on HBO.
yeah. Fuck them
Two are
crackers.
enough.
Them white crackers.
It's one white devil enough. That's it. All we need is one.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, technically, they do have Kovalev, and they just got a
Oh
third one when
man,
they got Bivol.
Yeah. It's Kovalev.
Yeah, I mean,
Kovalev was the king of the White Devils.
HBO could sell the Saunders Triple G fight as okay. These guys have a mutual opponent that they both like beat the shit out of.
a few of
Just
them.
it's for the
Yeah,
undisputed middleweight championship of the world. That's all you have to put on the poster.
Yeah,
yeah.
that shit sells itself. You know what I mean? Like, I could understand Charlo, but fucking who the fuck wants to see Andre? You know what I mean?
nobody
And
knows
Danny
who he
Jacobs
is.
If
Danny
Daniel
Jacobs
fights
had
That
Triple
a
G
guy.
again, he's getting knocked out.
yeah, and if DJ had an impressive performance, earth-shattering performance, by all means, but he arguably lost. So why would I want to see that guy again when he's clearly declining? Why would I want to see that?
My brother, I was watching the fight with my brother, and when they mentioned Andrade, my brother, who's a casual but knowledgeable boxing fan, he knows the names. He's like, "Who the fuck is that?" He's like, "Who's Andrade? Who's Andrade? Whatever his name is."
Exactly.
Isn't he under HBO contract? Maybe they're just trying to get this guy in like another fight before they give him the boot.
You know,
I
I
mean,
was.
listen, yeah,
Go
put him
ahead,
in
go ahead.
there. See him get wiped out.
they want to put him in the ring with a brown dude so they can rob Triple G, and then just give
They're not
up and
robbing
then just
Triple
steal his
G.
votes for
Triple
him.
G's putting Andrade to sleep. He's putting him to
Well,
sleep.
I'll tell you what, man. Precise made a good point about how he's got the theory that they don't allow most people to break records. He's matched Hopkins' middleweight run, but whether he's gonna break it, if he fights Canelo,
isn't he gonna break it in terms of title defense? Because his next fight would be a title defense, right? Isn't
right?
it?
And can remember, Canelo was also a
automatic?
title defense.
If he wins, yeah, he breaks the record.
No, okay. How many title defenses did Bernard Hopkins have where he didn't, where he came in as champion?
20.
Okay, so then Triple G's next title defense, his next fight will break Hopkins' record then.
Yep.
Yes.
And if one of these guys, one of these slicksters could just run away and survive, we know Danny can. Andre might be able to. Charlo might be able to. You know what I mean? Well, you never know. It's more likely than these. It's more likely than these. Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw the fight, but then he started running. He stopped coming forward. Andre is not going to come forward against Triple G. Forget about it. Charlo's not going to come forward against Triple G. And Danny Jacobs, for them sure ain't. So these guys have a chance of surviving. Derevianchenko, he comes forward, he either knocks Triple G out or he gets knocked the fuck out, or they take 5 years off each other's career, and go 12. But those guys have a chance of surviving, and because they're American, first and foremost, most importantly, you could sell a robbery, you know what I mean, in a fight where they make it look like maybe they won 5-6 rounds. But I just wanted to say I got some. Sorry, just give me one more second. I got some people coming over, so I gotta bounce out. You guys have a great show. I just wanted to jump on and give my thoughts. So I'll listen to what you guys got to say. But I'm out. Basically, take it easy.
All right, Precise.
All right, later, man. Bye.
Thanks for being on. And by the way,
guys,
go ahead, Apology.
Fix. How do you think the LDBC would react when Triple G breaks the record? Do you think they'll commit suicide or something?
They're already thinking about committing suicide.
I already know what they're saying about, the fight already about this, that it's a fraud. It's not legit. So when he breaks it, I'm sure it's going to be the same thing.
They already started shitting on it. I think I've heard people say that technically Triple G has eight defenses or something like that.
Because you guys got to remember. You guys have to remember something. Bernard Hopkins, he never jumped out of the ring to avoid a loss. He never ducked Roy Jones, Julian Jackson, Nigel Benn, and Chris Eubank.
Are we going to go down that road again?
He never lost his first fight at light heavyweight and then weight bullied for middleweight and then struggled to get knockouts against legitimate opponents. None of that stuff ever happened.
We're not going to go there this episode.
Hopkins' best wins are
Trinidad.
with Felix Tito Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya, but those guys weren't even middleweights.
Kelly Pavlik as well.
Oh, yeah, but that was a light heavyweight. That was a light heavyweight or a catch weight of light heavyweight, I think. Anyway, listen. The point is this: I was listening to you guys talking about Roy Jones. I will say this, just to go back real quick. Sometimes he's a very good commentator. He's starting. But hold on, he's just real quick. He's starting to.
What do you guys think? Yeah, Kilbrook or Sting is better.
Hold on, Boxing Style was talking. Boxing Style, can you hear me?
Let BDA speak.
Boxing Style, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, because I was talking, man. Just going back to Roy Jones Jr., the guy, he's starting to slip a little bit in terms of commentary. But here's the thing. One of the things that I never liked. He goes on strange tangents. When Adrian Broner was fighting, I think it was, anyway, I forget who he was fighting. I think Mikey Anchodo or somebody like that.
Who is that?
What's that?
Who is that?
No, it wasn't Mikey Anchodo. It was some Mexican Olympian. Anyway, the point is, Broner was undefeated at the time, and he was rolling. Escobedo, yes, thank you. He was rolling with the right hands. And somebody asked Roy Jones, Roy, how would you solve that shoulder roll style? And Roy Jones said something along the lines of, well, it's not really my place to say. And I'm thinking, it is your place to say. You're the fucking you're the expert commentator. You're supposed to break it down for us. I mean, it's not my place.
You guys do know that Roy Jones, he doesn't really know a whole lot about like the ins and outs of boxing technique. He, for the greater part of his career, was just a talent, physical, reliant guy. And once he couldn't do that anymore, he couldn't really beat anybody. So really, a lot of his career is fraudulent, and a lot of his boxing knowledge is far overhyped above what it actually is.
I agree.
Yeah, he relied a lot on his reflexes. Very kind of twitchy fighter.
Yeah, but he's still a good commentator, man. I mean, he's been able to break down fights before when he's not going crazy on and saying crazy things. But just because he didn't know how to fight doesn't mean that. Look, listen, the guy wasn't a complete moron when it comes to boxing IQ. He had good boxing IQ. It wasn't just all talent.
No, yeah, I agree. He does have interesting points about strategic.
When
Roy
talks,
Jones,
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, boxing stuff.
Yeah, Roy Jones knows what he's talking about. It's just that he's biased as fuck. He knows he knows who's winning. He knows who's actually gonna do what. Sometimes he calls it out like he sees it. It's just that he is biased. He's a Canelo fan. He's he picks the guys that are like I guess HBO promoted. That's better term.
He's a company man. Like he not in the typical way. He's a company man in his own way. Like he was.
It's not as obvious.
Shit on what Golovkin just did. That's what he was trying to do. And he can break down fights, like you said. He can break down fights when he's not emotional and he's just talking boxing. But then again, like Stewart said, man, I'm gonna go back to what Stewart said, and I believe that's what he was alluding to. When it came down to Triple G, he cannot play no games with Vanez and take him out as soon as possible. And that's exactly what he did.
Look, honestly, I don't hate Jones. I hate fucking Max Kellerman. That's the guy I hate.
I don't hate Max. I love Roy Jones. I love watching him in his prime. I mean, Roy Jones. No, I don't. To watch.
No, I'm not talking about fighting. I'm talking about him commentating. I don't hate it because sometimes he says like he could sometimes. Well, I'm talking about decision wise. So at least when he's calling out the fights, what he's seeing and all that decision, he gives it to the actual winner most of the time.
I never really trusted Kellerman and whatever he says because he always gave me that fucking stockbroker / car salesman vibe. I don't know, man.
All right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. By the way, before we continue, we have Stu on the line.
I wasn't bad. I told you what's going to happen, Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
That's right. There's only one Stu Little. Stu, are you there?
Yeah, told you boys it Farness is fish feed, didn't I? Told you it weren't going to be competitive. It was a terrible fight. I told you Varnes is playing with a man that's just far too good for him, too strong. We're talking about the middleweight division here. One of the greats against Golovkin-Martirosyan. Let that click in for all you guys that said 10, 12 rounds. I mean, what fucking planet are you guys on?
The nightmare went night.
I think Stu's talking about boxing style.
I love all you guys, but when I started hearing your predictions, the distance and all that, like I wanted to do a Mary Poppins style, jump through the fucking screen and slap you around the face.
Come on.
I really did.
All right, so you're going to rub it in.
Listen, let's be real. It was a destruction. What happened. Can you remember when you said, someone said the fight's in 3 hours and 26 minutes? Well, I said, well, the fight will be over in 3.5 hours then. And I was nearly right. I mean, let's be real. It was never a competitive fight. So I'm only warning you guys that we all get predictions wrong, but I just couldn't understand why you guys gave Varnes like a survival's chance. I said what would happen. He'd get hit with a shot. It'd rock him to his boots. He'd go into his shell, and Golovkin would go for the kill. And that's exactly what happened. It actually happened 2 rounds before. It actually happened 2 rounds before than what I said it happened, because I said 4 rounds, because I thought Golovkin would have a little look first, because he usually does. But, you know, as soon as he hit Varnes, he could see Varnes was in. He just couldn't take them shots, and it was time to get him out of there. And I thought Golovkin looked great doing it. So, enough respect to Golovkin. He beat what was in front of him, but levels to this game.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely true. I don't know what we were thinking by predicting it going more than 6 rounds. I was Alan Dromirecki just subscribed. Shout out to Alan for subscribing. Glad to have you on board. Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking with picking against Golovkin. I mean, I think
because Golovkin didn't look that impressive against Jacobs, against Canelo, and
exactly.
So then we were speculating, well, it could be because he's getting old, you know. So then that's why some of us were saying that, I guess.
There's multiple reasons. Yeah.
Now let's compare. Now let's compare the opponents. Now let's compare what Charlo did with Martirosyan to what Golovkin did to Martirosyan.
But that's Jamel. That's not Jamal. It's just a difference. That's what they keep saying.
Yeah, but Jamel's a better boxer than Jamal. He just is.
I think Jamal is the better boxer. Jamal can't box.
I think Jamel could box.
Remember when he lost all those rounds to John Jackson?
It doesn't matter if it's fucking Tyrone, Jamal, Jamel. It doesn't matter.
Come on.
Javante.
Come on.
Javante, Eric, whatever.
Stu comes in and right away.
Deontay, it doesn't matter. Then no matter what Charlo it is they're getting knocked the fuck out.
I agree with that. Especially yesterday, man. That Triple G would have fucking fucked the shit out of Charlo.
And Jamal even if you think Jamal is better, he's not way better than Jamel.
There's not a lot of difference. For me, there's not a lot. I can't tell the two. Like I said, look alike and fight alike. So it's very hard to separate them for me. And their names as well. I mean, the mum didn't do us any favours with the fucking names, did she? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was probably like 18.
Oh, come on. Jeez.
Probably younger.
Probably younger, Apollos.
One of them has an E and the other one has an A at the end.
Yeah, that's a good way to call them, tell them apart. And by the way, you know, I gotta tell you something right away. At BDA here, we try to have fun, you know, but again, I can't help it. Some of the humor that we start doing tends to get a little out of hand. Well, lo and behold, we had another letter from a concerned viewer. All right, and I'm gonna read through it. Please don't interrupt. I want to get. I'm not happy about this email, but I'll put it up on the screen. This is from Old Man Thompson, and he asked me to put his picture up, so I'm gonna put it up later. But it says, "This is Old Man Thompson." First of all, who addresses themselves as Old Man Thompson? That's fucking stupid. And you boys,
all people who send you emails, BDA.
That's right. You're right.
Crazy people. I want to hear this email. I want to hear it.
All right, he says, and you boys need a serious talking to. I tell you what, I've been a boxing coach for 36 years, and I've trained some of the best amateur fighters to come out of Idaho. I hold boxing to be as sacred as the Virgin Mary herself, and the way you boys talk in your little radio show is gosh darn disgusting. I know a thing or two about foul language. I've often used it to whip my boys into shape. Nothing wrong with that, but when it takes place in a radio show with women and children listening, then you better believe Old Man Thompson's going to have a problem with that. You hear? Now, before you attack me and call me out an out-of-touch codger, know this. I could whip any of you every day of the week and twice on Sunday, so don't try to get lippy with me. I know boys will be boys, but there's a limit. You're a grown man and you should be acting like it. I think some of you little twerps could benefit by joining the army. It whipped me into shape. I used to be a carefree, do-nothing, limp-wristed liberal like you guys. Seeing no good commie bastards kill my friend Charlie set me straight pretty quick, I'll tell you what. Perhaps that's what you boys need, a reality check. You need to spend some time in the bush with Vietnamese troops trying to drive a feces-covered bayonet into your guts in order to understand the real world. There's a difference between that and living in your little computer world, cracking jokes, and being a bunch of left-wing pansies. Think about it. P.S. If any of you want a piece of me, hit me up. Put my info up on the screen, BDA, and come see me. You won't be heard from again. You hear? Sincerely, Old Man Thompson. And here's the picture of the guy that he sent me. pretty badass looking dude. So
I can't see the picture, but I mean, I'm more offended that he called us liberals.
Leave it up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
leave it up.
Listen, I'm guessing that he doesn't want to hear any more filth, flather, and filth.
Listen, all I know is, mate, if you've got any sort of name about you, you're an amateur fucking trainer and you've brought all
I'll
these
take
great
that
fights.
old man out, please.
So if you've got, all these great fighters and these amateurs you keep telling us about, then why the fuck would you have to call yourself
He'll give
Mr.
me
Thompson
a
or
good
whatever?
scrap for like the first 30 seconds, right? I'm feeling him out. Once I start warming up, I'll take that old man out.
but he
Yeah,
was.
let me see that again. Let me see that picture.
I don't want to put it up.
Let him time stuff out.
Yeah, come on, old man. Bring
Why
it.
don't he give us his real name so we can look him up on Wikipedia and see if he's fucking serious or anything? This guy, like I say,
Wikipedia?
don't like using this name, but this guy could be fucking Rick Moranis behind his computer. It could be anybody.
again with Rick Moranis, man. Come on, I gotta bring up his picture every time you bring him up. But he did give me his name, by the way.
Do you know why I use Rick Moranis?
Because Rick Moranis is so such a pansy, non-muscular.
Yeah,
sorry, excuse for
that guy's
him.
about 6'3", 6'4".
And to top it off, he's Canadian as well. So just
now wait a minute. I live in Canada. I love Canada.
More. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know what this guy's problem is. I mean, it'd help if he got our fucking ideologies right. I mean, there's nothing left-wing commie about me. I hate the bastards. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
I don't know what he's talking about. And
So
this is
sorry, go ahead.
This is an adult show. I mean, I don't see anything in the description that says, that children and women are going to be watching. So can you watch your language? It just doesn't say anything in the description about that.
Yeah, this is like the Chappelle show. You better not bring your kids.
But
BDA, that
poor
guy's about
Dominic
6'5".
watches.
Was that?
That guy's about 6'5" in his 50s, right? So it should
yeah.
be a good fight. It should be a good fight. I'm 6'2". I'm in my 40s.
And by the way,
I got money that he won't last 2 minutes.
All right, so there we have it. And by the way, sorry to interrupt, man, but I just
tell him I'm challenging him.
Oh boy, he's not gonna like.
Oh, I recognise. I'll pay for your fucking training camp.
I won't need no training. I'll take him out.
And you know what? I just gotta point out. That picture does not look like it was taken, by a family member. I don't think that's the guy. I think it's somebody trolling us.
It's from a commercial, man.
It's from a commercial. Yeah, I don't think that's the guy. So if you see him, don't think that's Old Man Thompson. But hey, listen. If that was indeed Old Man Thompson and he did go to Vietnam, we have audio of the dreams that he probably wakes up from in a cold sweat every night. So let's hear a couple of his dreams. All right.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot, Nicky.
All right, that's the dreams this fucking guy has. That's why he wants to fight everybody. The guy's fucking nuts.
You can imagine him now, innit, at the dinner table. Back in the 1963 conflict between Vietnam and the United States of America, all that. But like my granddad was in the World War II, and I tell you what, he sure let you know about it. I think I heard every mission he did about 20 times. It's one of them where they're always talking about their army days, their war days, and I bet he's one of them, and I bet he's real fun.
I bet he looks like that Midgau guy. You remember?
What you on about Tank? You on about Tank Abbott?
Yeah, Tank Abbott. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know.
Talking shit.
I don't know why these people keep sending us layers. Look, was that apology?
Chat shit, get banged.
Chat shit.
I mean, I don't understand what his problem is with our show. I don't think we're that rude on here. I mean, all right, fair play. When Cameron starts talking about eating ass, it gets a bit out of hand. I understand that, but usually that's later on in the show. So 2 hours in, that starts to. For the first 2 hours, we talk boxing and that lot.
Listen,
that's the thing about a lot of guys in boxing. A lot of people in boxing, if you've not got no background and being a fighter or a trainer, they think you're not worthy of opinion. Boxers are quite snobby, the boxing community sort of thing. They think if you're not, isn't that true? if you're not an ex-fighter or trainer, then you can't have an opinion because you don't know anything about. Or you've never been punched in the face before, so you don't know anything about it. But it doesn't work like that because you'll find a lot of fighters know absolutely fucking zero about fucking boxing. Jamie McDonald, for example, didn't even know who Inui was, and the guy is in his division for fuck's sake. So a lot of these fighters don't really know a lot about the sport itself. So it'd be a very boring hangout if you got a load of ex-fighters on the, especially the
most
punch
of the
drunk.
best athletes. Most of the best athletes at the sport really can't tell you the history of that sport, but that doesn't mean that they're not good.
No,
you know,
they know.
I've seen
Bro,
guys,
they know how to fight.
that are great at their sport, and they're like, "Oh, do you remember this guy?" They're like, "I don't even know who you're talking about."
Robert Garcia said he's never seen a Muhammad Ali fight. Robert Garcia, the trainer, never. I mean, like, what? You just go on YouTube and fucking type in Muhammad Ali. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Because he doesn't have time for that. He's too busy training people.
Yeah, the thing is, they know how to fight. They know how to. They know what to see in a fight. They know. They definitely know that because they've been in it themselves. So they know what to say, and they can teach you how to fight. But when it comes to hangouts is a bit more than just telling someone how to fight. We have to talk about fights and predictions, history, and all sorts. You've got to know a bit of knowledge. It's all well and good knowing how to throw a straight right, but that's not going to keep a hangout going for fucking 6 hours, is it?
That's right. Very well said.
You guys are talking like this guy's for real.
But yeah, he might not even be an old man. It might be some 22-year-old guy
No,
riding.
BDA. I have a feeling this guy is for real. Go look at that picture.
First of all, again, that picture, I'm not convinced that's him. That picture looks like it was taken by some sort of production company or something.
I was just kidding.
You gotta post it up again. I didn't see it, BDA.
Nah, fuck the picture. I don't want to see that.
I was just kidding before. That old man looks like he could take care of some business.
Exactly, man. Fuck. If he was in the army and in Vietnam, he's probably killed a bunch of... And by the way, he's talking about women and children. How many women and children did he kill over in Vietnam during his tour? Let's get that to that first.
Wow. Baby killer.
Baby killers. No,
he killed enough.
You better watch your back.
Sorry about that. What was that?
Hey, some of them old school men have got ridiculous strength and fucking kill you with their bare arms. Kill you.
With dental floss.
You know what they say about testosterone? Back in the 1930s, people had more testosterone compared to what we have
because
today.
now we're eating fucking shit food. They want men to have increase their estrogen levels and shit, man.
Yeah, back then, fresh meat as well, man. Fresh meat. A lot of people used to fucking eat their own fucking kills, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? These days, it's all frozen and packed for us in a supermarket that's probably been there 2 weeks. I mean, so they spray colouring on it to make it look fresh. All this red shit.
Hey, by the way, Stu, did you watch the fight live or did you watch it later today?
Well, I managed to stay up to the ridiculous time. I mean, 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, what are they thinking? You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. The guy's European, and that's the thing about HBO cards. HBO cards seem to be on a bit later than Showtime, and it fucking hurts us when we watch a HBO card because it's really late. But thankfully, Golovkin was only in there about 4 or 5 minutes, and it was over. So I managed to get.
Did you enjoy that? The undercard? Did you enjoy that?
Oh yeah.
I was talking to you on the undercard was. I watched Bradis Prescott get beat up again. Fuck me, how many hidings is that guy going to get? I mean,
he lost.
When he looks at his career, and then Amir Khan looks at his, I know which one's had the better career. So he might have knocked Amir Khan out, but he's done nothing since then. And then I watched 2 women fight. They weren't too bad, but I was talking to you guys. You know my opinion on women fighting, but they looked all right.
Yeah, that was a fight last night.
Old man Thompson?
No, that was the women fighting. That was Old Man Thompson terrorizing poor Vietnamese women back in the 1960s.
That's fucked up, man.
He was like the guy. Remember the guy in Platoon who bashes the Down syndrome guy's head in, and then he goes, "Man, I've never seen so much blood before." That was Old Man Thompson back in the day, man. He was a nut job. But
you can bet your life though. Even though he's offended, you can bet your life he tunes in every podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He enjoys it. Oh, everybody dropped out again. Fuck.
I'm here still.
BDA, it's all bullshit, man. If he's ever been in the army, he knows that's all bullshit talk, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was bullshit. The picture, the text.
A lot of older guys would relate to us more than they would a lot of these other channels. That's for sure.
And by the way, I want
they talk so much shit over there, man. It's not the racism is through the roof. Anything, you name it.
Hey, BDA, I just got one thing to say.
Yeah, go ahead. We got X on the line.
Was I just spoke to Vanez. He told me he was poisoned.
Is that right? And what proof do you have, X? Come on, we need proof.
Just take my word for it.
I'm not gonna take. Listen, I'm sorry, but I don't know you that well, X. I'm not gonna take your word for it, all right?
I've gotten a lot of things right in my past, okay? And I'm telling you, Vanez wouldn't lie.
You've also had a lot of things wrong, from what I hear.
Well, you know, some people will try to take me down. You know how it goes. You know?
Some people try to.
But I'm
all right,
so my brother Vanez, we spoke. We had a nice talk, and he said, "Look, I was poisoned. I understand the game."
Did you think Golovkin looked good, or?
I never think Golovkin looks good. Look at
come
that
on.
funny face of his.
Who did you give the first round to?
Well, who do you think? Of course, it was Vanez. Vanez was whipping his ass.
Is it Vanez or Vanez?
I don't know. Vanez.
Get his name straight, for Pete's sakes, man. You say he's your brother, and you can't even get his name straight.
Vanez.
He's my brother, man. Him and Vic, they're my brothers. I got proof of that.
All right, so X, let me ask you this, man. You didn't enjoy the fight. You thought it was fixed. What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna do something about it, or are you just gonna talk?
I'm gonna make videos. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make videos exposing this whole thing. Okay.
I think I ran into X yesterday. There's this guy saying that Vaness was gonna win on points.
Is that right?
Well, that might have been me. That might have been me because I be everywhere. I mean, New York one day, LA the next.
Listen, X. If Varlas was 100%, man, he would have won that fight.
Well, like I told you before, Cameron, if they don't poison him, he'll win.
X. Do you know who exactly poisoned Vaness? Russians.
You'll catch him on
something.
Video.
I have a feeling that Putin had something to do with this, but I don't really have that much proof, so I ain't gonna say Putin.
It's always Putin's fault, right? It's always Putin's fault.
Speaking of Putin, did you hear that Bill Cosby? Did you guys hear Bill Cosby got 30 years sentence?
What?
Well, you know, I told Cosby stop fucking with these white devils.
Jeez. It's
Man,
interesting.
Those hoes will be lying.
There's a conspiracy theory out there. There's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy theory out there that says that supposedly Cosby was getting a little bit too real for the establishment, and
he was.
Apology,
they took him down.
Apology. I can understand one girl lying. Yeah, fair enough. You're going to get one. Two, maybe you're unlucky. Unlucky day for you. But 11 of the fuckers. Then that guy, he's a clear fucking sex pest. You know, let's be real here, man.
That's not true, Stuart. They're trying to say that I got 8 kids from 8 different women. I'm telling you,
tell him.
Listen, I was on Bill Cosby's side at the start with. I thought, nah, these girls are just trying to do him for some cash. But then they just started flying out. There was like fucking ants just coming from everywhere, saying that Cosby raped him, sort of thing. If I had to put my money on,
most of them are lying.
I'd say he's guilty. I'd say
probably, but most of them are full of shit.
It could have been bullshit, but you don't know that until.
Listen, man, Cosby,
most of them are full of
shit. Those white devils, and I told them, stay away from these white devils. And don't ask me about how I know Cosby. I know him, okay?
Yeah, people
are talking about white devils. That picture you sent me the other day, Butcho, was it Blood Boxing that posted that?
Who?
Butcho sent me a picture the other day of one of the LD's BC channels.
Oh, it's Blood Nation or something like that.
Yeah, it was like it had the slave master Eddie Hearn on this big slave ranch.
I saw that picture.
It had Danny Jacobs in the corner and it Joshua.
Stu,
that's an authentic picture. I'm telling you, I sent that to Blood.
Authentic picture. Come on.
I got brothers from the UK. They sent me that picture. He has a plantation. I told people this.
I just don't get where they're coming from with this. I mean, I could understand if Joshua's fighting for nothing, then yeah, you got a point. But the guy's getting $20 million a fight nearly. I mean, that's hardly slavery to me. I mean, I'll be anyone's slave for $20 million, man.
Well, okay, I got a theory on that. Okay, now you got to trust me on this one. Okay,
Go on then.
I'm not biased. I'm just telling the truth. Now listen to me. You know that slavery is kind of illegal today. Let me just say this, man. Hold on for a second.
Cameron.
Hey, Cameron, I thought you was my brother. What's wrong with you?
What I said, man? What I said now?
There's the noise in the background. There's some funny noise coming from your computer.
But I realize it's
sorry, man. Sorry.
It's you that's trying to interrupt me. Because y'all don't want me to tell the truth.
All right, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
That's you, man, not me.
What Eddie Hearn is doing is an old slave master's trick, okay? And what he's doing is the money that you see that Anthony Joshua was supposed to be getting, that's just to hide that he's a slave owner. That's it. It's all his money. That's what that is.
That's a very good theory you got there.
Yeah, X is
No. That's not a theory. That's factual. Go ask my brothers on YouTube. They'll tell you the same thing.
Okay.
I wonder what kind of plantation Eddie Hearn has. Sugar, cotton.
And why would we lie? We don't lie. We always tell the truth.
Look, I'm tired of
Eddie Hearn. Must be the man then to get away with doing what he's doing, man. I mean, because we can't even fucking say bar black sheep without being called a fucking racist.
Listen, I'm tired of talking about this fucking fight. Either it happens or it doesn't, and if it doesn't, good riddance, because we're not gonna hear from those two again. You know what? At this point, both guys, I hope they get knocked down in their next fight, so we don't get to hear any more about this.
Eddie said 70% chance of a fight happening, the deal happening.
Well, ain't gonna happen because AJ don't want it. And
that $50 million apparently might be real.
No, that $50 million is real. I got that money. Okay. Hold on. The truth is, I got that money. Okay. Anyway, I said too much. I gotta get out of here. My acid reflux is getting me again.
Stop.
To take care of.
Stop drinking that chocolate drinks and whatever they fucking call it over there in New York. Chocolate.
No, that's recognize the asshole that likes chocolate milk, not me.
All right.
I like chicken wings and stuff like that.
All right, my mistake.
Recognize the sellout.
I offered you some yesterday.
Man, shut up, boxing style. You
And by the way, X, fucking boxing style can't even get a prediction correctly, so don't worry about him.
Oh man, come on, bro. I had 2 wrong yesterday. It happens.
Well, you see, I told boxing style stop making predictions. Okay,
that's
right.
right.
Stop the Armenian mafia from killing them. Okay, I was in LA. I calmed the Armenian brothers down. You know,
all
right.
Them,
listen, they poison Vanez.
All right.
I understand how the game works.
I knew it.
Yeah, man.
That was my
all right, my brothers. I gotta go.
Peace all right, take it easy, X. Thanks for being on.
Oh, man, the day that we finally find out that X is recognised is going to be a bad day.
How do we prove that? By the way, we can't prove it either way. I've tried.
It's obvious, man. One jumps off, the other comes on. One jumps off, the other comes on.
But you gotta remember that Recognize said that X he can hack. He can hack phones and all that shit. He did it to us. He did it to Recognize. He probably did it to other podcasts as well. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's.
Yeah, they recognise.
I'll tell you what. If I ever got murdered, BDA, I definitely would want you investigating my murder, bro.
Why not? Why am I a bad investigator or something?
Listen, if someone close to me gets murdered, I'm getting Pavel on the fucking case, man.
That's right, Pavel. Pavel and his kinetic energy.
I heard what he said about me.
Yeah, he's always bullshitting you, man. You gotta, I know you want to stay quiet. I know you don't want to talk to X, but the next time he comes on, you should really give him a good tongue lashing. Let him know who's boss.
I'm gonna have to, man. I'm gonna have to tell him off.
That's tongue lashing.
Well.
That sounds really gay.
Yeah, I'm not giving him those.
No, it's a fucking term. It's a real term.
That gay dudes use.
Now wait a minute. Anyway, listen. I wanted to talk.
Mr. Thompson's gonna get upset again. Come on, boys.
Yeah, he's gonna cut our ears as well. He's gonna cut our ears off.
We're making fun of the special experiments he had in Vietnam.
Exactly. He's gonna cut our ears off and make a collar out of it, like those soldiers in Vietnam used to do. with the Vietnamese. Cut their tongues off, cut their ears off, and make a nice little collar out of that shit and wear it around their neck. Was
I
that?
watched this weird video earlier on, mate. It came across on my Facebook. Some fucking guy. He done something wrong in I think it was like one of the Asian countries, and they're basically clubbing his hand, man, with like metal poles. I was like, what the fuck is this, man?
Is that the porn you're watching?
This guy, he claims to be a veteran, but we don't know. This guy could be like Private Pile, innit, from Full Metal Jacket. Just couldn't handle the fucking training. You just don't know. I mean, so I'm not too worried. I bet if he turns up on my door in his fucking in his gear, I'm gonna shit my pants. But
Stu, have you heard that the general in Full Metal Jacket died? What was that guy's name?
Yeah, he died. Yeah, he did. He died a few years ago. I remember.
You heard me?
No, he died this.
I'll tell you what, that's one of the funniest scenes in any movie you'll ever watch.
It's so funny.
I was in fucking tears. I mean, he terrorized Private Pile, didn't he? Terrorized.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great stuff. I mean, I do like watching the war films, especially with the American armies, because their captain and generals are fucking funny guys. But that's one of my favorite
Private Ryan is good as well.
Yeah.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Shaving Private Ryan or Saving Private Ryan?
Oh.
Platoon's a very good film as well. I really enjoyed that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't enjoy Platoon much.
Is that right?
Oh, I liked it.
Nah, man. I don't know why. It was kind of ridiculous.
Well, Vanis, Boxing, what do you know about killing? What do you know about killing? Have you ever killed anybody, boy? You ever been in the shit? No, I didn't think so.
You got some bodies on you?
I wouldn't want to talk about this.
I'll be honest, man. Like, so I was in a conversation with a lot of people have dreams about sex and that, don't they? Whereas I've had more dreams about fucking being a mass murderer and fucking sex, man.
Alright, that's fucking disturbing, man.
I think you need to see something about that, Cameron. Fuck that.
Seriously, man, I'm not pissing around. I'm being serious, man. Fucking out of time, man.
Cameron's going to be one of these guys that kills his fucking wife and then claims he was sleeping while he did it. Yeah, sleeping.
Head with a baseball
bat. Listen, man, I'll shoot through the bathroom door, man. See how that goes.
Here's one thing we know: when a serial killer emerges and all the victims have their booty eaten out, we know who to go to.
And by the way,
dead giveaway.
That's fucked up, bro.
By the way, I gotta give a shout out.
Reverse E makes me laugh, mate. He's quite a quiet guy, but he comes out with some fucking.
He's a quiet, well-spoken lad that's got a fucked up mind. That's what he is.
Yeah, man. It's always a quiet one.
Yeah. All right, listen, guys. Before we continue, I gotta give a shout out to Michael Stock. He just donated to the super chat, £5. Thank you very much, Michael.
Respect,
Always
Michael.
appreciate it.
Michael's a good old boy. I like Michael.
He's a good old boy. And
Michael. Is it Stock or Stock? Let's get this straight.
Stock.
Yeah, he's all right. I won't talk about it.
All right, there you see it on the screen. Michael Stock. Shout out to Michael. He's a good boy. He doesn't watch pornography. He's a lot like Cameron. They don't watch pornography. They're both in the.
He's a white version of Apology, I think.
Is that right? Yeah, that's true. Apology. Do you watch pornography, by the way?
Nah, of course he doesn't, man.
She's disgusted.
It's disgusting. Yeah, he's disgusting.
He's lost respect for you, BDA, for asking that question.
He lost respect for me a long time ago. Listen, guys. I wanted to ask you before.
Apology's the sort of guy that fast forwards the sex scenes in the movies.
What type of pizza they deliver?
All right. Michael says, mate, I love this show. Well worth it. Well, thank you. We appreciate it, man. We love doing this show. And I got to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. First of all, we got a full house today. We can't let any more people in, but we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people. I mean, my goodness gracious. That's a full house right there. I wanted to get to...
BDA.
All right.
BDA. Did you get that 50 million I sent you?
Yeah, I was just going to tell you, I remember the day when I first came on the show, man, there was only 3 or 4 people on the panel, man.
Actually, you couldn't see the rest. We were keeping them away from you because they were all scared that you were going to kill them.
BDA, how come you've switched the channels? Did you have a ban on this channel that you couldn't do Hangouts on or something?
Absolutely not. What happened was, and I'm hesitant to say it, but might as well say it. I might as well tell the truth here. What happened was, you get the conversations here can get a little salty, a little bit adult oriented. So we're just having two channels in case, God forbid something happens. We got a backup, but we decided we might as well, start. We're still going to be using BDA Live for the live podcast, but we might as well just start expanding it on both channels.
You should you should download them onto both channels.
That's not a bad idea, man. Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, because then otherwise BDA Live just sitting there rotting, and people are not going to be keeping it in touch with it. While you keep putting the content on, they'll keep looking out for it.
Oh yeah. We're not going to let it rot. We're actually going to be putting special content there as well. That's not on the BDA main on this channel. But I wanted to get something here before we go, because I think it's an interesting subject. Tony Bellew says that Tyson Fury isn't a big puncher and that he would like to fight him. Is this guy insane or what?
No, I don't think so. I think he has a good shot because he has the power Fury doesn't have.
Yeah, tell that to Steve Cunningham.
He has power, but he doesn't have it like AJ.
You got to remember, he beat Derek Chisora to submission, sort of thing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's a size.
Yeah, Derek Chisora's a tough guy, man. So Tony Bellew's just, you know what he's like. The adrenaline's still pumping, and he's at home with Rachel and the kids, talking about the future, and he thinks he can beat Tyson Fury now. But let's be real. He's scared of Wilder. He said he'd never fight Wilder or Joshua, but he wants to fight Fury. It don't make sense to me. I know Fury's
Fury's off for like what, 2 years?
Yeah, but still, Tyson Fury's 6'9". Tony Bellew wouldn't get near him.
How tall is Bellew?
6'1", isn't he?
6'3".
6'3".
I would pay to watch that fight, honestly.
Yeah, that would be a good fight.
It'd be an interesting fight. Bellew has a dog in him.
Yeah, I'd rather watch the Parker fight Bellew that we was talking about last
That'd be
night.
good too, man. That'd be good too.
Yeah, I like to see
more competitive.
Yeah. Like I said, we've got to see where Fury is. Fury could be. Let's just hope he's better than David Haye was when he came back. Otherwise, it's not worth talking about.
Does Fury have a schedule? Anything?
Sorry about bringing up Varnes, but Varnes was 2 years, man. You could see it that he was not there.
But Varnes could have had 2 days off, and it wouldn't have made any difference.
No, it would have made a difference with a couple of more rounds, but that second round, I mean, you could see that he wasn't there.
Boxing Style is still angry that he didn't make it 12.
The exact words were, when Varnes takes Golovkin 12 rounds, I'm going to be coming on here chatting shit. It was never going to happen. It was never going to happen, bro. Sorry about that.
Exactly.
Do you guys think Varnes quit? He kind of looked like he wanted to get up, and then
let's keep it real. Yeah, let's keep it real, bro.
He got clipped.
The first shot he took, he wanted out. I see on his face, he took one clean shot and he was like, fuck, I've bit off more than I can chew here. And after that, it was just a survival mode. He was throwing a few shots to try and get Golovkin off him, but there was nothing in the shots. They were get off me punches, sort of thing. And then just Golovkin, he looked just teeing off on his head. I mean, 4 or 5 clean shots. I mean, let's be real. If you get up, it's the second round. If you get up, do you really want to take more of that?
Yeah.
I mean, anybody else get an opinion on that? Who else thought that maybe Varnes mailed it in?
I don't think he quit. I think he just got rocked pretty good at that last second round.
I agree.
He just got so bad. Like his knees gave out. He just started crouching. Not crouching, like laying on his stomach. It was all kinds of bad shit. If he got back up, he was just gonna fall.
He went down like he got hit with a body shot. I mean, he got hit flush in the face.
Was pain. That's why he wasn't so much pain.
He looked like
from the shots,
like shit. Like, what did I get hit with?
If he had landed that combination on Canelo would have felt it bad. I mean, like he would have. He probably got knocked down. I don't know. Yeah, possibly knocked out. Maybe not knocked out, but knocked down for sure. That 6 combination, 2 jabs, left hook, and then uppercut, and then on top of that, the right hand, and then another left hook. Jesus.
It does seem like he could have
I'll tell
gotten
you
up.
what, though, I think that draw might have been a good thing to happen to Golovkin. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it might have brought a bit of hunger back because he looked fucking explosive in there, didn't he? He looked back to himself, sort of thing. I know it's only Varnis Martirosyan in there, but he still looked back to his best, sort of thing.
So you think Golovkin got complacent with his
Yeah,
wins?
I do, bro. I do. Every fighter gets complacent. They do. Every fighter, and that's where. I'm not saying he still won the fight, but maybe that draw, it took that undefeated record and maybe it just brought a little bit of hunger back. Right, I'm not going to mess around with these guys no more. I'm not going to let judges rob me. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take them out, and that's the great.
Saunders got complacent with that Wolverine nickname. What's his fool that he fought? Oh, what's his name?
Akakov.
Yeah. When Yakinov got his ass beat by 1 round, but they still gave it to him. It was 1 round. I'm not sure.
That was. Do you know what? That fight was so bad. I was turning over. I was turning over watching the replay of the rugby highlights. I'd already watched the rugby live, but I was watching the highlights instead of watching Billy Joe. It was that bad. I mean, I just thought there's no way back for this guy. But as soon as he went into the Ingle camp, we saw the Lemieux performance, and that's what a good camp does. It makes you a different fight if you got good team around.
Dominic Ingle. Yeah, Dominic Ingle's the best British coach, from what I know.
By a mile.
Yeah.
Rob McCracken's good. Rob McCracken's good, but his negative style, I just don't like his He's even turned Joshua into a negative fighter, isn't he? Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Did you guys see Dominic Ingle's Instagram? Like he posted a selfie with his shirt off and he showed off his physique, and I'm like, damn man, at 50 years old he looked like that. I mean, all ripped and shit.
I tell you what, man.
That brings a question if there's something going on in Ingle's gym like that.
Dominic Ingle's on steroids, man. Dominic Ingle's on steroids, man.
He's on steroids, but he's allowed to be. There's nothing in the rules that say your trainer can't take him. So he's. I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't want to.
Abel needs to go.
I wouldn't want to fight the guy. I wouldn't want to fight the guy. I bet he fucking packs a punch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dominic Ingle is more of a. He said it himself. He's not a fighter, but even though he trains,
he said he could beat Spence's trainer.
Yeah, but the point is that I think the point that Pavel was trying to make is that if he's taking something, that shit must be around in the gym as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's on steroids.
I mean, listen, I'm just saying that if he's
the thing with the steroid thing is, bro. I mean, we could sit here all day saying everyone's on it, but until they get busted, we just gotta have to pretend that they're not on it. Do you know what I mean? Just to make us sane around here, because because Precise. I mean, even the fucking referees are on roids to Precise.
Okay, that's a good point. But
with Canelo though, you could tell, man.
You could tell with Canelo, yeah. You could tell with Canelo for sure.
Canelo's. Even with Triple G, you could probably say sometime in his career he's taken it.
Yeah, his fucking arms are massive. See the size of his arms, man. Jesus Christ.
I think you could say that about any boxer. I just don't like when someone, calls a fighter, he's a cheater, as if he's the only one that's doing it. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, let's not bring up who's on steroids, and let's not forget the other guys that are on it.
They're all on steroids.
And by the way, I want to ask Stu something. I want to ask Stu, do you think dart players are on the juice as well?
Sorry, did darts players on the juice? Darts players on the juice.
Sounds like some Star Wars shit.
I'd say, what if they are on the juice, mate? They want to be getting a fucking refund.
I reckon Stu's on steroids.
Maybe.
Yeah,
you never know.
I inject it in my dick.
Oh, now see.
You know that Paul Spurs actually do that shit.
You want to see him? He's an absolute monster.
Old man Thompson's gonna come after us.
Listen. Even Olympic archers and shooters are on steroids. That improves your heart rate and concentration. So yeah.
And also, steroids also heal injuries a lot quicker as well.
Listen, man. If I meet a girl, and she's got a flat arse. She's putting steroids in that fucking thing, man. I guarantee you that.
The signs of steroids is deep voice, skin color, and then
Wait, whoa.
I didn't mean like skin color, like fucking like black, white. I mean like you get red.
I mean, they're also well. They also
That's racist.
Yeah, racist.
Well, I take it, I become black, bro. So
you say so? Wait. So what boxing style is saying is, if you take steroids, you're gonna turn black. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you guys do know that black people are magical. That's why they call it black magic.
All right, that makes no sense.
Oh my
You know what?
man.
You know what, man? This podcast, I think Old Man Thompson had a point. This podcast is really not good quality entertainment for.
What I meant was your skin turns like if you're white, you turn like kind of reddish. It gives that reddish feel to it, look to it. And I don't know if you're black. I don't know what happens when you're black, but for white people, it's like
you become darker.
I don't even know what to say.
I guess
No, you don't, man. I mean, Floyd Mayweather got lighter, didn't he? So.
I think the first thing to look for is a hair loss. I mean, I think that's the big thing.
Hairline,
right?
Yeah, hair losses.
Did Sammy Sosa take?
I mean, look at Dominic Ingle. Dominic Ingle like bald and.
Wait, is Pavel?
Okay. I know.
How many Pavel's on steroids?
That's true, man. What
man.
Balding doesn't mean anything. You're gonna gain more hair actually.
Well, like, listen, if I'm on steroids just because I'm bald, then I'm fucking on steroids for 10 years plus. So yeah.
I see.
and I'm 23. So yeah.
The next, have you seen Dana White? You guys seen Dana White? You see how he looks?
Yeah, man. He's on
Boyd's
board, man. His face is like a fucking beetroot all the time, man.
No, but
he needs some cardio.
Exactly.
Look at him before to now.
No, but he's what we call fat strong. He's fat, he does a lot of bench pressing, but that's really it. He's fat.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to go jogging. He's fat.
This fat son of a bitch.
I mean, he's fat, man. You look at his arms. He's got no definition. He better kid. Was that?
Fucking Scott Steiner, man. You're fucking Scott Steiner fucking soundtrack.
Cameron recognized the quote there.
This fat son of a bitch.
Anyway,
fucking
look.
Scott Steiner, man. I remember those days.
He's fat.
He's fat. By the way, we got. I forgot to intro Gaia 500. Gaia, are you there?
Hello, everyone. This is Gaia 500. I am your future master.
All right.
Soon your women will bow to me as they cry over your dead bodies.
It said your women will cry as.
I fought your mom last night.
Did you just say you fought Gaia's?
Ooh.
Gaia doesn't have a
Yeah,
mother.
I fought his mom last night.
He doesn't have a mother.
He does now.
You fucked an old machine. You fucked an old
Yeah.
Gaia, I think you're exaggerating.
With that?
Gaia, I think you're exaggerating a little bit there.
I don't exaggerate. That's your job.
Third judge.
You're telling me that it's wrong to eat ass, but then you're fucking an electric fucking machine, man. Come on.
Hey, apology. I lost all respect for you, bro. All respect, apology.
Yeah, eat shit and then fucking machine. Come on.
By the way,
Don't literally. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying, man?
This shit comes out of it. So I'm just saying.
you know what?
Listen, man, it's not like I'm fucking taking fucking. Man, listen, man, it's fucking clean as fuck, man.
Are you trying to
I like
prove
how
old?
I like how Cameron defends himself when apology say shit comes out of there. He's like, I don't eat shit.
He spits it out.
Oh, oh man.
Come on, man. That's fucking John Gonzalez, man. You're mistaking me for John Gonzalez.
Hey, Cameron. Just to let you know, there's an E. coli virus coming around, so careful.
Boxing style. I haven't done it for a while, man, and I'm not going to do it with a girl currently seeing.
Wait, so you're telling me you never had a chocolate shower?
What?
Chocolate shower.
John Gonzalez.
Listen, man, I've got some
quicksand before.
I've got some sand.
You guys are absolutely convinced or dead set on just ruining this podcast for Old Man Thompson.
You never did the icky picky and came out sticky?
Jeez, what the fuck?
Reversely comes across this innocent, quiet guy, really respectful guy. Like Stu says, he's got a fucked up mind.
Exactly. He's the worst of them all. He's the worst of them all. You gotta watch out for the quiet ones.
We interrupted Gaia as well, man.
Nah, fuck Gaia 500. I don't want to listen to her. And by the way, it is a her.
Now, wait a minute. I'm not going to let you talk about my guy at 500 like that.
Are you using my lines?
Shit.
Recognize?
Hey, wait a minute.
Recognize you using my lines.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
You know what? Recognize. Was that?
Did he fuck Gaia recognize?
Sounds like Gaia 500 is a homer.
Listen, man, if you need to be fucking a machine to get some pleasure, man, there's fucking loads of hoes out there who fucking do it cheap rate. Don't need to fuck a machine.
I agree.
You would fuck a robot, let's be honest.
Give it a few years, mate. The Japanese will be fucking machines instead of women.
Oh, yeah.
They're already doing it. They're already doing it.
Stu's grappling skills are excellent. Just ask his ex-girlfriend.
Oh. It said Stu's
Do
grappling.
you guys watch Westworld?
No.
Man, that shit's boring as fuck. I can't watch it.
Oh, come on.
Five episodes, and I was like, I'm falling asleep.
The good thing about good thing about fucking a machine, when it's over with, you can switch her off, can't you? Do you know what I mean? Just switch her off.
I don't know how Stuart knows what's good about fucking the thing.
Or when you just get paid, your wages have just gone in the bank. You can switch her off for a weekend, can't you?
And by the way,
anything.
By the way, I was really.
The machine might be better than the real thing. You never know.
You never.
I'll tell you, some of the ones I have, I probably agree with that.
Oh, don't tell them that, Stu, man. They'll fucking slit your throat during the night.
Oh my god.
And by the way, you know what we're talking about? We were talking about the belt, that green towel belt that they were gonna give, that OBC was gonna give to trainers.
The comrade.
Yeah, that's the
they
thing.
gave out 2 now.
Well, it just reminded me. It just reminded me here at BDA. You know, Precise called it the comrade. So we decided we're gonna do something special here in BDA. We're gonna have the special for anybody that's top notch or who has good boxing knowledge. We're gonna give them, as you can see on the screen, the golden spit bucket. Right there. There will be spit in it, by the way. It will be the spit of hobos that live around the corner of where I'm living. So it's going to be authentic.
Adrian Broner.
Oh, come on, man. Adrian Broner, he might look homeless, but he isn't homeless, all right? You got to have a little respect, the reverse. You're too young to be disrespectful like that, all right? What the fuck was that?
On. Who's watching porn?
That was Cameron, I think. That was Cameron playing pornography. I tell you, this old man Thompson had a good point, man. Quantum Hydronomic in the chat room says, Apology really needs to stop trying to... he really needs to stop trying erotic asphyxiation with his own shoelaces. His voice has gone...
Wow.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh, fucking piece of shit.
He's seen the chat room. You can get.
You're gonna end up like a second David Carradine.
That's right, David Carradine.
I want to ask. Who made that noise earlier?
That was Cameron's background. Something in the background made that noise.
Don't put that shit. It may get us banned or something, man. I don't know with these fuckers.
I didn't hear anything bad. I just heard a woman showing her It
wasn't in form, man. It was a fucking soundtrack, believe it or not.
Or Boogie
Old man
Nights.
Thompson popped the nerve.
Yeah, old man Thompson really hit a fucking nerve. He hit a lot of things in Vietnam too, if you know what I mean. But listen, guys.
Children.
I didn't say
children.
That. I didn't say that. You said that. You said that. But I don't know what else. All right, there's a lot of. By the way, there's a lot of noise in the background of somebody. I don't know who it is, but it reminded me last night when we were talking about. Stu was talking, and then somebody made a noise, and Stu hates that. He goes, "Oh, for Christ's sakes!" And then he said that it was Boxing Style. Boxing Style was flushing his toilet while he was talking. Just for the record.
Yeah.
Just for the record,
man, that's like a good shit, all right?
It was a car. Yeah, just for the record, it was a car passing by. It wasn't. He wasn't taking a shit while he was talking.
Shitting all his cereal.
Hell no, man! I'll never eat cereal ever again.
Eating cereal while on the shitter. That's That's a great way, man.
Somebody was screaming.
This fucking show, man.
Farted, man. Yeah, you know, I think Golovkin burnt. Oh, excuse me. And next thing you know, you hear the mic go off and shit.
Yeah, Boxy style, you gotta mute your mic when you're taking a dump. Please mute your mics when you're taking a dump during the show, right, people? I greatly appreciate
I thought you
it.
were talking about just mute your mic right now. I will not do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk, and all I can hear is splashing water from the toilet.
By the way, does anybody?
Quite a doozy.
Who was it that said that there was a Italian porn where a guy shoved a woman's face in the toilet? Who was it that said that?
That was recognised. I was the one that watched the German.
Oh right, yeah, the German porn. Oh.
That's his name. His name is Rocco Siffredi.
Check him out, guys. Check him out. Check out his work. He's a Hall of Famer, I think, from what I hear.
He's a real gentleman.
Is that? Well, wait a minute.
Gentleman in 21st century.
I know you guys are gonna say I'm pretty sick, but I saw another porn video of him where he's actually punching a girl in the back while he's doing her doggy.
Damn,
like
man.
this dude is a fucking rapist. I like it.
That's not even porn at this point. Man. That's like something else. I mean, that's like a snuff kind of domain.
It's abusive.
Recognize. Did you see that scene with Rocco that he was banging a girl in the ass and suddenly he pulls it out and there's a small chunk of shit on his tip, right? And listen. He goes and then he goes to a girl, yeah, and the girl is like half conscious from all that fucking, and he tells her, "Oh no, take it. It's only smells. It's only smells." Ah.
What the fuck
Dirty.
Dirty. I saw that one.
What the fuck?
Hey, these people need sterilising, man. They need sterilising, man, so they just don't great, man. Fuck's sake.
Is somebody actually puking?
It smells.
Somebody's fucking puking, man.
Yeah, somebody's puking, man.
No, I think that's apology, man. Shit. Apology. I'm sorry.
You missed the shit dick.
I didn't miss it, man, but I was grossed up, but I didn't puke, man.
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Before the PC Brigade comes out and tries to vilify me.
Yeah, the PC Brigade is gonna vilify us, man. I gotta tell you.
He had Rachel's fucking shit on his dick that night.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, this show, I don't know what we're gonna do. I really don't.
Chocolate cone right there.
Oh man.
What the fuck are these sound bites?
I'm telling you, I don't know what to do. Really, seriously, I don't know what to do. We're gonna get. I've lost control of the show. Is that a high point? Should we end it on that note, or?
Nah, let's keep going.
All right, now I'm hearing dogs in the background. Is that Rocco? Is that Rocco Siffredi?
I've just locked her in the other room. I have to separate my dogs when they eat because they fucking kill each other.
Stu, did you name one of your dogs Rocco?
Rocco!
After your favorite porn star?
Rocco.
By the way, has anybody heard of Max Hardcore?
Who the hell is that?
No.
He's a guy he's a porn
That sounds
guy.
like a porn star. Yeah, that's what I. Sounds like a porn star.
He actually went to. Was that?
What?
Well, can I? I'm just gonna.
Name, isn't it?
He's a guy that used to do porn, and he actually got sent to jail because of the porn he was doing was so hardcore that it was deemed. What's the word? Not offensive, but it went beyond just pornography, and that he actually went to jail, man. But this guy,
what exactly did he do?
I don't know.
Old man.
Exactly. Yes, and okay, who's playing Beethoven in the background?
Who's playing music, man?
That's a Stark. You know, that's the music. That's the music Cameron plays while he has a girl tied up in the basement. He plays Beethoven in the background. They're like,
You hear what he explains what he's gonna do to her?
Yes.
Oh, good.
All right. Apparently, Max
What is
Hardcore.
this podcast coming to, man? What is this podcast coming to?
I don't know. You tell me, man.
That was the highlight of the video of the live chat.
I think old guy Thompson is really going to enjoy that.
Oh fuck! He's coming after us with his Vietnam War buddies, man. They're gonna come after us, right? All right. It says 5 counts of transporting obscene matter by use of an interactive computer. So he was actually under the obscenity laws. I thought I thought that shit didn't count anymore, but apparently it might have been done on a state by state basis or something. So that was it, obscenity laws, and he actually began serving a sentence in 2009. And I think he was released 2 years late. 2 years for that shit? Oh, he served the final 5 months of his sentence under house arrest. So he was let go for that shit after a couple of a year or something. But I mean, that's you can't go to jail for obscene porn. So there you have it, guys.
You can always plead that you didn't know.
That he didn't know that it was obscene? You should have seen
that. You ever seen that porn? It's a porn star award.
All right, Cameron, please mute your mic, man, if you're not talking. All right, sorry, Recognize, go ahead.
I'll find you and fucking...
All right, it's getting a little bit too out of hand. Recognize, go ahead.
There's this award shows for porn stars, and they show it on like one of the cable channels. I forget, but it was just impressive to see these girls go up there and they're actually proud of, you know, they're like, that's right, that's my slut, she won. You know, Ava Starr is such a little whore. She's the best whore that ever did it. You know, it's crazy. You gotta listen to them. That's how they're praising each other. I knew my bitch was gonna win because nobody takes it like she does.
My bitch. I mean, let me tell you something. That's insane. I've been to those shows. I think I was nominated once, but I didn't win. But listen, the point is this, man. I think it's pretty well known. What was that?
Not hot enough.
Hey, but can you imagine, right? Can you imagine? There's guys out there that have probably sat there, that fucking sitting on their own one night, thought I'll put a bit of porn on, fucking go through a few vids in it. And can you imagine if you saw your daughter on there getting banged out by Rocco? Getting banged out by Rocco or something.
Stu,
Rocco's a dog, man. What the hell?
I didn't hear that, bro.
I said Rocco was a dog. What the hell?
The fuck?
Yeah, but if it's your daughter, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, but okay, but what would you do? Let's say you have hypothetical question. Your daughter comes in. No, hold on. No, it wasn't that type of question. What I was gonna ask, well, first of all, in the chat room, people are giving a shout out to War Machine. Who gives a shout out to the fucking? He's a nut job. People in the chat room.
My main man, War Machine.
You guys are.
Another gentleman.
Don't you remember I brought him up on the show that time about how he beat up Christy Mack and I explained all the court case and shit about how he beat her. And that guy left.
Christy Mack perform.
I don't know. I was on this. I don't know. I was on that show because I don't remember it.
What happened was basically War Machine and Christy Mack. War Machine's an MMA fighter. Christy Mack's a porn star, and basically they're in a relationship. And obviously one was War Machine came back home, found Christy Mack in bed with another guy. So one was he put the guy in a hold.
Mm-hmm.
The guy knew jiu-jitsu, so he got managed to get out of the hole eventually. Escaped out. Left Christy Mack there, and it basically War
Machine. But I mean, honestly, what would you have done in that guy's situation? You would have gone toe to toe with War Machine. The guy's name is War Machine, for Christ's sake.
I would have asked you wanted to join him for a threesome.
I would ask. Let me finish first. Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead. Hold on. Apology. Hold on.
They weren't intimate, man. They were just like cuddling in bed and shit.
That's gay. What the fuck?
All right, apology. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying never mind. Go ahead.
Come on, man. You make me. All right, listen. We actually have audio. We actually have.
I said that's gay. That's what I said.
Yeah, okay, we heard that.
Wait a minute. You don't like talking about extreme sex, but you think actual cuddling's gay as well. What do you like, Apology?
Yeah.
He likes a nice cup of tea.
Let's get straight to it. Don't fooling around. Just get straight to it. Then you're done.
You're insane, man. You're fucking insane. And by the way, we have audio of the fucking War Machine giving a beating to what's her name, Christy Mack.
Liar, whore, you know it.
Oh man, that's awful, man. That's not fun at all. That is not fun.
Unless his fist sounds like shotguns, then yeah, that is it, man.
That's not a shotgun. That's a punch. That's how hard. That's how hard the guy hits, man. That's why he's named War Machine, because he hits like a shotgun. Listen, that fucking guy. I said it before. When you watch the Joe Rogan podcast with War Machine, you could tell that guy's unhinged. He's crazy.
Yeah,
He's
man.
got
I've
those...
seen that, man. He's always a wide open. The guy, he speaks really quick, doesn't he? He's off it.
Kind of like I do. But listen, again, we have to repeat. If, and by the way, that was a good plan, Cameron. Invite the guy, try to appease him as opposed to trying to go toe to toe with him. But what I was going to say was, we talked about it when we first talked about that, which was, listen, if you ever find your girlfriend fucking another dude, because that's what Christy Mack did apparently. She said she wanted to get caught to piss War Machine off. If that ever happens to you guys, smile, walk away, and never call her again, and never answer her phone calls, because she's gonna be thinking, whoa, this motherfucker is so secure in his own self. He doesn't even give a fuck that I'm fucking this random loser. So that's what you gotta do.
BDA, can I say something?
No.
BDA?
No, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, just to date a porn star in the first place. What was he expecting?
Good point. Very good point.
Porn stars always go for. The thing is, like, I think it's the fact that he didn't mind. I mean, they were so open. Like, if you look at War Machine's Twitter and all that, like, there's pictures of him like fucking her and shit, or like he took selfies fucking her and shit. You see her ass on the air and all that, and he's inside of her and all that. They were a fucking open relationship and shit, man. I've got a lot of respect for War Machine. I'll be honest with you.
Absolutely.
What was Tito Ortiz thinking when he fucking married one?
Oh, jeez. I mean,
he's a cock. That's what he wasn't thinking.
He's
being a cock.
Why would you marry a porn star? Like, how dirty is that, man? Like,
thirsty.
That's the problem that I have with War Machine.
Love at first sight.
Begging her.
Love at first sight.
Like, this is his main girl. Porn star.
Exactly. Like, just bang her, leave, and then that's it. Job done.
This is lying in bed with her thinking, she's had 1,000 dicks in her before me. I mean, that just,
yeah, it's horrible, man.
It doesn't bode well for the future, does it, when you think of things like that? You know what I mean?
But why you paid for a used car? Full price for a used car.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, if you're made a porn star, that's her job, man. You know you're gonna have to share her around, man.
You need to slap in the head if you do that. If I find out any of you guys do that, I'll find you and slap you in your head.
We deserve it.
That's a good point.
We deserve it.
Yeah.
Apology is out there protecting his fellow brethren.
Disrespect. You're
If I
surrounded.
find out any girl, I mean, most of the girls where I live are porn stars anyway. They just don't get paid for it.
Dude, I would love to bang a girl like Christy Mack every day if I could. But
all right, let's play a game right now. Let's play a game.
I understand who she is, and I wouldn't try to change that.
She is hot, man.
Right.
My wife.
No, yeah, hot, man. I would give it that. I'll do her in the arse, 100%.
Well, hold on.
Has she got one of them big fucking big asses that all these girls got these days? Fucking big fat.
No, actually, she's perfect. This one, Stuart. This one is like perfect. She's got a nice one back there, but it's not exaggerated. It's just everything is perfect.
Some of these fat asses that these girls will make me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach just looking at fucking cellulite and fucking all over, wobbling all over the place, and they think that's an attractive thing to a man.
What do you guys think about Alexis Texas?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh man, Stu,
let's play a game. Let's see who names the best looking porn star.
Male or female?
I can't even get internet on my porn on my internet. So how can I play? I don't know anyone.
Wait. We gotta
Google image that shit.
We gotta get this.
You know all of them.
Well, one thing's for sure. I know for one thing's for sure. It's not China from the WWE.
Oh man.
She's decent.
Yeah, she was, man. When she done herself up, man, she was actually alright looking.
But hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah,
I got a question.
I
got a question.
For fuck's sake, man. I mean, like
I got
said,
a
man,
question.
Sitting there fucking banging that a bit like Lou Ferrigno, wasn't it? Banging Lou Ferrigno, man. Like I said.
I have a question.
Paint a green and it is Lou Ferrigno, isn't it?
For the first time, it's me an apology. The ones that agree with everything everyone else is agreeing with us, man.
Yeah. I have a question.
Come on, Stu.
Listen, I just don't find 17-stone brick shithouses full of muscle attractive. Sorry, guys. Do you know what I mean? I like to be bigger than the woman I'm with. I do not want to be lying on top of a woman and she's making me feel like I'm the woman. Do you know what I mean?
Choking you with one arm.
Sitting there, innit? And her shoulders are double the size of yours.
China ain't 17 stones, man. Are you serious?
No, she's not. She's only about.
She borrows your trainers because her feet are the same size as yours. Fuck that. I don't want.
All right,
I don't know big. I like women petite and feminine.
Hold on a second. Boxing Style says from earlier. What did he say?
Boxing Style said, but hold on. Boxing Style said, let's play a game. Who's your favorite male porn star? Who's your favorite male porn star, guys? That's what he said.
Rocco Siffredi.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about saying that, but I'm like, nah, man.
Mine's got to be Cameron Gillian.
That's right.
Oh my god!
That's Cameron performing.
Can we please confirm something? We need to get this aired out, man. Can we please get my second name right? It's Cameron Gillon, not Gillian.
No, it's Gillian. It's Gillian now.
Yes.
I'm just repeating what BDA calls you.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Fucking BDA, man. You call me Cameron Gillian. Where's the I after the fucking L's?
I think that's a little bit of
sound French. That's why.
Yeah, that's a little bit of pizzazz. That's a little bit of pizzazz.
Gillon. Got it now, yeah.
All right, but do you mind if I keep calling you Gillian?
Cameron Gillon.
Gillon, yeah, exactly. It sounds better, man. It sounds like he's got a little.
He's got a bit of that. Cameron's got a bit of that Ottoman look about him, isn't he? He's got a bit of that Turkish Greek look about him, man.
Oh, that's why Boxing Style doesn't like him.
It's the beard.
Listen, man. Somebody said to me, man, I could easily join fucking ISIS. I was like, fucking hell, mate.
Cameron, you keep getting all these violent thoughts. Maybe you got a bit of fucking Spartan in you, bro.
Oh, by the way, fucking what's his name? Pavel just sent me.
What the fuck is that noise, man?
Yeah, what is that?
Somebody's got a vibrator on, man.
No. I'm in a rush.
Fucking
I'll tell you what that was. Boxing Style's got a fucking card on his alloy wheel.
I'm using my weed whacker.
Yeah, it's got the Ace of Hearts on his fucking back wheel.
It's got like a porn cam going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, you guys should.
Oh, you got a donation.
Wait a minute.
There's no actual, Stu, just to confirm, there's no actual Turkish or Greek blood inside him, man. It's only English, man. I mean, there's other shit as well, but no Turkish.
You've just got that. You've got that Mediterranean sort of look about you, bro. Just it's
the beard.
Probably is.
Cameron's actually Armenian. You know.
Yeah, man, I'm Armenian, man.
Really?
So am I. I'm half Armenian.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm 1/3 Armenian. My ancestors survived. They survived the fucking genocide. That's what happened. But listen, guys. Oh, jeez.
I'm Wakandan.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Everybody's talking over each other. Pavel is trying to send me some footage that we can't put up on the screen from Rocco, and he's punching He's actually. He's punching.
Jesus Christ! Are you serious?
He's punching a woman. He's punching a woman in the face.
There's nothing explicit in this.
I told you.
So just put it up.
Oh, it's a commercial.
I'd be more worried if he put the video up and had his top off as well. Then I'd be more worried.
His pants are
that topless in the dark room last night, man. It was a bit weird.
I was flexing and shit. Look at my shit.
Fucking muscles.
Rocco's my idol.
He was looking like he was in a bodybuilding competition.
Well, it's like I said last night. A little bit of Art of Spilk on the fucking show last night.
All right. By the way, let me ask you this: Has anybody here ever had a girl who wanted to get you pregnant, and she tried to lock her pelvis in so that you stayed there and you couldn't pull out?
Wait a minute.
But you said
No,
you said a
man.
girl wanted to get you pregnant. I think you got it the wrong way around, bro.
No, I agree with him. No, exactly that. I had a girl try to get me pregnant.
It wouldn't be surprised, man.
What?
Damn right.
I think the only bloke who can get pregnant is probably Ryan Garcia.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be surprised some of these women. And some of these women do anything to stitch you up, man. They've probably got a test tube in their little bag. And as soon as you fucking let it go, they're doing handstands to the toilet.
Apology. Stu's talking, man. Listen, guys. There's too many people. There's too many people. There's too many. What the fuck? Am I even talking here? There's too many people in the chat room. There's too many people in the chat room. We can't be talking over each other. So let's try to keep it, take it slow. Otherwise, we're just gonna be talking over each other.
Big Benny Miller could have a baby.
Yeah, go apology.
Go.
Basically, the story happened in California, I think, where this doctor basically had sex with his girlfriend, and he jizzed in her mouth. She kept it. She didn't swallow. She spit in the cup.
They still
hold on, let me finish the script. And she got a syringe and stuck up her vagina and got pregnant.
That's
how
bullshit.
Does that work?
They'll do literally.
How does that work when it dies, man? It dies out, man. How does that work?
No, it has a life expectancy.
It lasts a while, mate. It lasts a while. I mean, let's be real. There's girls out there that probably when you've shot inside them, they're just going to go to the toilet and it fucking handstands to the fucking toilet to keep it there, innit? And then once they get there, get the old fucking test tube out, squat over it. There you go. There's my fucking child maintenance. I like that.
That's why I always carry a plunger wherever.
Are you guys saying that they can use a turkey baster to put that in? Does that shit really work?
She's a turkey baster. She had it in her mouth. She spat out.
All right, you know what?
I'm putting over to
I think the most deceiving way they get you, obviously there's not a lot of girls where they're going to keep coming in their mouth for half an hour until you turn your back and then go and inject it in themselves. That's just a one-off sort of thing. But a lot of them will just stop taking the pill without telling you.
Got me worried now, man. Next time I fucking do it.
Yeah. Wear a condom.
You talking about a guy? You talking about a guy who's got 4 kids? I've been stitched up a few times in my life. I can assure you.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a girl now, man. We're kind of getting to that point now where we're fucking close to doing that. Man. I need to fucking do it.
Spanish women are the worst. I'm telling you right now.
No, I don't want you to know that, man.
Spanish women are the worst. They will keep your kid.
They will keep your kid.
They'll literally swallow your babies.
Man.
You're just racist.
Racist, yeah, racist.
Cameron, wear a condom every single time.
Nah, man, fuck that, man. Not. I mean, I don't do it often, man. There's only certain people I do it with, man. So I don't wear condom. Man.
Just carry a plunger wherever you go, man.
Hey.
Yeah.
Is anyone excited for Kovalev versus Alvarez?
Yeah, for fuck's sake, man.
Hey, you Wesley.
Wesley, jump off, man. What, mate? Apology, what I was saying was, man. I mean, the most goes, man.
You got to fucking love the chat, ain't you? We're talking about vaginas, and they're talking about Brooke and Errol Spence.
They're real boxing fans.
Yeah, they're real boxing fans.
Even the vagina talk is not going to fucking sway him. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. They'd rather watch boxing than watch Rocco Siffredi, man.
China's vagina, or?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was just gonna finish off saying, like, the girls that I've seen, man. I thought, whenever I look at a girl, I think, yeah, man, fuck it. If you fall pregnant, you're decent looking. I mean, you're stuck me. I don't mind sticking with you. You know what I'm saying? So the same with this one, man. If she gets pregnant, so be it, man.
Cameron, no, don't do that. They'll take your money. They'll take everything.
I don't think you understand what child support is.
Yeah, I don't think he understands, man. It's a good point, man. And by the way, Cameron, if you're banging without a condom on, eventually your dick is gonna end up looking like a hot dog with relish and mustard on it. Trust me. Just
no. I'm sick of girls. I mean, listen, man. That's a possibility, man. But at the end of the day, I don't know what to say, man. Fuck it, you're right, but fuck it.
Wear a condom every single time, and make sure you flush it.
Yeah, what you have to do is you have to take it off with the cum inside of it and then tie it in a knot and flush it down the toilet. Because these tricks these tricks will flush it into their cunt and then try to say that you either raped them or got them pregnant.
Why do you have to
on
roll
purpose.
it up, man? Why do you have to roll it up? Just flush
Apology.
it down the toilet.
Apology. I got tested. Last time I got tested. Last time I've got fuck all right now, man. But yeah, I'll be a bit cautious, man.
Because if you don't tie it up, then some of it can leak out on the way to the toilet.
Oh man!
You don't want a foreskin. You don't want your foreskin looking like a UFC fighter's ears here.
Oh.
Cauliflower cock.
Yeah, cauliflower.
Hold on, Apology wants to say something. Go ahead, Apology.
After you flush it, get radish sauce. You put it in a condom, put it in the bin, and then she might take it out. If she does and sticks off her vagina, it's gonna sting. So there's no trick for you guys.
All right, you know what? We're gonna have to end it on that note, man, because that was just nobody's gonna top that one. By the way, actually, you could have topped it. Instead of tartar sauce, you should have said some sort of tartar sauce with jalapeno. That way, if she puts it on, it's gonna. I know, but if she puts.
I've never had an STD, man, so I'm good.
All right, you know what? Listen, guys, that's enough out of this. I'm shutting this down. We went too far. The PC brigade. The PC brigade is gonna come after us, all right, and it's gonna come after every one of us.
Old man Thomas.
Old man Thompson, yeah.
Needs a party people. That's why they invited you.
BDA, you have a watch list on you. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. And by the way, Apology, man. Okay, first of all, you're the one that's obsessed with poop, man. You keep calling Cameron out on that shit. Cameron Gillon is a nice boy, all right? So you leave him out of this, all right?
Cameron
Gillon.
Listen, everybody calls me, man. Listen, every video, man, like fucking X calls me Gillon, Lopez calls me Gillian. Fucking get the name right, you fucking fools.
But do they call you Mr. Gillian?
Oh.
No, fuck, man. Listen, man.
Or Sir Isaac.
I mean, look, I've always said this, man. Listen, if you can find me the fucking eye in my Twitter handle, my fucking Google account handle, then I'll give you it. But there's no fucking eye in it, man.
There's gonna be now. There's gonna be an eye now. That's what. We'll
put it there.
That's.
I'll tell you what. I'll legally change my name to Gillian, and I'll go to court and say, look, fucking BDA and all that keep calling me it, so I might as well fucking change it to my name.
You know, if you tell somebody, hey, BDA changed my name, do you know what they're gonna say? Who the fuck is BDA? They don't know who the fuck I am. I'm under the radar here. That's what I like. So go ahead, keep telling people. You know what? That's gonna be the last thing you're gonna say before they lock you in the insane asylum. They're gonna go, all right, who the fuck's he talking about? Off to the slam.
Man, should be better this fucking shitty earth, man. Better this fucking world, man.
All right, take it easy. Don't get too excited. Otherwise, you're gonna go too far. Listen, Mr. Coxie says.
I'm sorry.
What is that?
That was.
Man, I'm messing with you guys.
He's
somebody's doing a poopy.
It's all that chicken out here.
And by the way, Michael Stock says, doesn't Cameron's intro say Gillian? Your channel says Gillian. I'm pretty sure of that.
No, it doesn't matter. No,
check
the old
it out.
intro said Cameron Gillian. You go Cameron.
It's written like Cameron Gillon.
That's what it is, man. That's what it's Cameron Gillon.
Oh wait,
that's right,
so
Gillian.
G-I
That's what I said.
L-O-N or I-O-N?
No, it's G-I-double-L-O-N.
That's right.
Gill like a fish gill, and on like turn on the light.
Cameron Gillian actually sounds like a good name for like journalist.
I was born
like
Cameron
a news
Gillian.
reporter.
No, man, this is Cameron Gillian, man. What is this even being debated?
Yeah,
like Ron Burgundy.
Right? It's like it's an arguable thing.
Yeah, why?
Ron
Right,
Burgundy and Cameron Gillian.
All right, so that settles it then. Cameron is now Cameron Gillian. That's his official name, and he did say he's gonna change it. So there we go. Case closed. All right, listen,
BDA,
guys.
check out the message I sent you. This is Cameron. The picture of Cameron.
Oh man. It's more. Yeah, I think Cameron's had enough, man. I don't think we need. I don't think we need a picture on the fucking screen.
Let's vote BDA instead.
All right, Apology. I gotta ask you, what's up with your audio, man? It sounds like you're in a magnetic room or something.
You know what I'm saying, man? This podcast has aged me. I swear to God, man, this podcast has aged me. I can't look in the mirror when I first came to this podcast, but I look my age. I look about fucking 60 now, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. This podcast takes years of your life, man. With
I tell you what, BDA. since I've been doing these podcasts with you, I think everybody knows who you are in my job, man.
Is that right? That's not a good thing, man.
Yeah.
What is that, security, bro? You work at security?
No, well, I mean, where I pass by, there's security guards there. They listen to the show. They're like, "Oh, you guys are talking boxing?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then they hear us talking about, ass and porn stars. They're like, "That's not boxing talk."
Oh man.
Yeah, my mate said to me the other day, because he was round here, and I said, "Yeah, I'm just going to go on a boxing podcast." When he came round, he walks in, all he hears is us lot talking about fucking eating ass and shit. I was like, "Yeah, it's boxing."
Sorry about that.
Hey, boxing just now, man.
Because they don't know what goes outside the ring. That's why.
Yeah, we didn't plan that, by the way.
We are talking about rings, but not the four-corner ring.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, guys, we gotta go. We are gonna do another podcast during the week because we got Lomachenko versus Linares next week.
Ooh.
That's right.
It's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah, Lomachenko hasn't proven himself yet. He hasn't beat top 5 super featherweight, so.
Yeah, see,
being nothing but bums.
Did you see what Lomachenko was doing in a sparring session? Just beating the shit out of somebody just by using the jab.
Jeez.
Yeah, but he's not proving himself. He's not
when
proving.
I tell you about guys just using one weapon, just one shit, and you can beat the shit out, just getting the timing and everything right, you could just use the jab the entire time and whip the shit out of somebody.
He's going to beat Linares down.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know.
What were you shouting, man? Hello?
That wasn't me.
No, I know. Anyway, listen, the point... Okay, now who's eating Tic Tacs now? It's like that episode of Seinfeld where Elaine had the Tic Tac so she could hear the what was it? The
don't get, man. Like, why can't people, man, like, some people just need to mute their mics, man, don't know. I mean, I know I'm bad for it sometimes. What fucking music playing in the background and shit.
And the porn. Don't forget the porn.
Because if you start looking at something else on your phone, what you have to do is scroll the top of your screen down and then go back to the Hangout page where you see all the faces in order to mute your mic.
Oh, okay, man. Well, mine is pretty simple, man. But...
All right. By the way, just to let you know, that's a good point about muting the mics. By the way, we've tried saying it here, but sometimes people forget. But by the way, also next week, Saddam Ali is going to be taking on Jamie Munguia, who's I've seen some of his footage. He's too slow, but at least he goes down to the body pretty well. So let's hope he makes it competitive. But on the undercard of that fight, it's what I'm most excited for is Ray Vargas, WBC Junior Light Featherweight title champion. He's going to be taking on Azat Hovhannisyan, who is a very tough guy. He took out Ronnie Rios, which is something that Ray Vargas couldn't do. So we got 3 good fights, or decent fights actually, next week. Let's keep an eye. Oh yeah, you're rooting for Vargas, right?
Yes.
No, he's rooting for the Armenian, the fellow Armenian. Also, the day before, on May the 11th, Devin Haney, who's a prospect, is going to be taking on Mason Menard. And on Bounce TV, Tony Harrison taking on Ishii Smith. I'm pretty sure you're all thrilled to watch Ishii Smith again.
I'm not watching that.
He still boxes, Ishii?
Yeah, he's still boxing.
I've just won the highest bid to win Roy Jones Jr. James Toney official fight program. That's the second one I've got today, man.
Why are you so obsessed with fight programs? Anyway, listen, we'll keep that, save that for next.
I get a lot of merch, man. I've got a lot of boxing merch, so like history and shit. So I thought, now and then I kind of look about and I buy stuff. I mean, Roy Jones is coming to my city next month, so I'm kind of getting a few Roy Jones fight programs, getting them signed. Then I'll make even more money, man. So there you go.
Okay, that in 20 years they're gonna be expensive. But look, well, I want to talk more about that next episode. And also, let's not forget, we got another jam-packed weekend on May the 19th. Adonis Stevenson taking on Baidu Jack, Gary Russell versus Joseph Diaz that same night, and in England, Lee Selby taking on Josh Warrington. That's gonna
remember everybody. A Gary Russell Jr. fight only happens once a year, so don't miss it.
Exactly.
Isn't it Jamie McDonald in way as well? So
isn't that the day after, or
that's the 26th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 25th. 25th.
Yeah, I gotta check out a Niue fight.
Right.
But don't forget. Like I said, Lee Selby.
Also, with the names, it's Inoue.
No, it's not. We make up our own names here, like with Gillian.
Anyway.
Your bullshit.
Anyway.
Sounds like it's saying anyway.
It sounds like anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Anyway. I'll say. Naoya anyway.
yeah, it's Naoya Inoue.
Listen, man, it's the same fucking thing, innit? It's the same
I'm in
fucking
your way. Sounds like it's saying now you're in my way.
Yeah.
Well,
That's how it is. You ever seen that video where somebody takes all the like Mortal Kombat fight sounds and translates them into real sentences?
No, I've never heard that.
It's like, what the fuck was I say? You have a nice day.
All right, let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it, man.
Reverse, you got way too much time on your hands. I'm just gonna have to say that. Man. But
Reverse is like me. He's multitasking. He's like handling the kids, doing the podcast,
killing people. Oh no, actually, who's killing people
Who's
here?
having
Who's the
kids?
murderer?
That's Cameron.
That's Cameron. Yeah.
They're on this kids in your back.
I rule this world.
Whoops, sorry about the what?
I heard kids in your background reverse. You don't have kids?
This is a
No,
family
it's
channel.
probably the other people in my house.
Oh, okay.
I'm 17 years old.
So?
Okay.
You can't have kids at 17?
Ooh, David.
So you can't have kids at 17?
Imagine
Come on.
if I had.
I thought you were like...
You're 17 years reverse. You're 17.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like...
Fucking hell, you're pretty educated for 17, man.
Yeah, he's pretty educated.
Imagine he's actually 47, but he's pretending to be 17. That would be creepy as
That's
fuck.
probably
Man.
what.
Listen,
That's probably what old man Thompson does when he gets on Facebook.
Reverse. When did you start watching boxing?
Oh, Tinder.
Reverse. When did you start watching boxing, man?
Let me think.
Don't start watching
it was like right.
What's up?
It was in the year that Triple G fought Lemieux.
2015, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it when I started watching when I was 13, man. So that was what, 2010. No, that was 2008. That's when I started watching it.
So wait a minute. So reverse. You've only started watching boxing 2 years ago. You only started watching it 2 years ago.
Technically 3.
Whoa, that's pretty impressive that you know all this shit about boxing in only 2 years in, man.
Yeah, especially the lower weight divisions, man.
Yeah. Are you sure you're not 47? You're not bullshitting us?
Positive. Unless I was born on some type of leap year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe you.
I think
Maybe
reverse is Cuban.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say, man. He's fucking Cuban. But even what's his
reverse Cuban? Reverse Cuban.
Lee gives it away, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, it's reverse Cuban.
All right, listen, guys. We gotta go. We gotta end this. First of all, I want to thank every single one of you who stepped in here today. You fucking bunch of maniacs. I want to thank Reversely, Recognize, Pavel, Cameron, Boxing Style, Apology, Cachinello. Precise was here earlier as well. Stu, I think he's gone missing, but I want to thank Stu as well. Check out Reversely's YouTube channel. Check out Recognize the Matrix's channel and his friend. That's right, I said his friend X's channel. Check out Cameron Gillion's. No, it's Cameron Gillon's. No, what was it? Cameron Gillon?
Can we just get... Yeah, you got it right now, bro.
All right,
Cameron
perfect.
Gillon.
Gillon.
Just stick
Gillon.
with Cameron, man. You don't need the last name.
Cameron.
Shit, people know right.
Reverse please just call him shit, bro.
Oh my god.
Call him Ass-Eater, man.
Come on, man. Just call me Cameron, man. People know who I am. You know what I mean? There's only one Cameron on this show, man.
Can we call you Camboy?
There's only one Cameron Gillon.
That's right.
At least Apology gets the name right. You know what I mean?
And don't forget to check out Apology Man's store where he sells you masks for apnea. He's got them all. You can talk through them, as you can see. All right. So anyway, guys.
Those are rape masks that he's selling, man.
Yeah, that's my favorite pastime.
Let's make no sense, man.
It's shy, man.
Favorite pastime. Going to the park, see some single mothers, and like, yeah, that's my job for the set today.
All right. Well, there you go. By the way,
I need to go out as well, man. I need to fucking go out, man.
All right, Bucho, BDA, peace.
Take it easy, guys.
Boxing style, stop taking a shit while you're doing the podcast.
By the way,
you never had the chicken that I had.
Yeah, chicken shit.
Yeah, he took a chicken shit as his apology.
This shirt is crazy. I love you all, man. This shirt is crazy, man. That's why I love it.
Someone's gonna fucking masturbate during the show at one point. I'll tell you that.
All right, listen, guys, we gotta go.
Wait, at one point, what do you mean by that?
All right, guys. I wanna have time to say goodbye to. By the way, Foulball Boxing sent me a video. We'll play it next episode. Is Arnold Kigai. We'll take a look at him next week. Also, give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Larry Payne, Hakuna Matata, Undercover Asian, Mr. Coxey, Quantum Hydronomic, Michael Stock. Thanks for the donation. Louis Blanc. Who else? Roddy Davies was here.
See ya, BDA.
See you, man. Akuma's Deception. Thanks for being on, by the way. Boxing Fairy Tale. Roddy Davies, I said. You guys know who you are. Graphic was in there as well again. He wasn't too pleased with Triple G. We Degree, Del Boys Boxing Nation. The Fox Strikes Back. Guys, everybody in the chat room, everybody in the panel, I appreciate your cooperation. We appreciate your cooperation, Bucho and myself. You make it the greatest show, in my opinion. Could be wrong. On the internet about boxing and about other non-family subjects. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week. Hopefully as soon as maybe Monday, maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. You just never know. You'll have to be tuning in to see. We'll see you on the next one, folks. Take care. Thanks again.
See ya.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, BDA.
Bye.
The fuck was that?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go eat some arse, man. I'm gonna go eat some arse.
Come on.